Wrong one. Wrong kitty.
Whoops.
Hello, chat room.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not in the chat room yet.
You're not
but
in the
I'm
chat room
getting
yet. Well,
there.
the crowd is already going somewhat wild. Like, are they there yet? Is it
Are
time
we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we doing? What are we
It's
doing?
time. It's time.
It's time.
Hi.
It's time.
It's time. Marconin, where are you right now? Where are you staying?
I am in Rogers, Arkansas,
Ah,
northwestern Arkansas.
so you get to stay in a hotel.
Yep, I do. There we go.
Let me go and do the tweet thing with the deet thing and
Tweet the deets.
Yar. We are live. Come
Does the
join
room sound
party.
good?
Sounds really good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, it's the normal like room echo,
Okay.
but nothing severe.
Okay, good. Because well, the air conditioner just turned on. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but
I don't hear it. You guys hear
good.
it?
Good. That's good that you don't hear it. I don't want people to hear it. I'd rather be nice and
I can
nice
hear
and
it at
clear.
your I can hear it at your wife's house, but it's not. Yeah,
Well, the vent is like right the air conditioner is right next
like
to
right there.
the
Yeah.
station when we do there. All right, 20 can't hear it. Yes, I did get a haircut. I've been needing one for weeks
I like it.
now.
Looks good.
It's very summery.
Haircut hype.
Haircut hype.
hype. Yes. 'Tis awesome sauce. All right, I've got the deets tweeted. So now it's focused.
Sweet. Thank you, Andy.
It's
Good,
focused.
good.
Yeah, you know what?
Thanks, 20.
He's streaming using his phone as a hotspot
As a hotspot, yeah.
right now.
Because the internet here, it's decent. Like I can play WoW on it, and it's pretty good. Hey there, Nate. Morning.
Morning.
I've been up about 45 minutes.
You guys better start your show title keeping right now.
Haircut hype.
Haircut hype.
I don't want to draw attention to it, please. No.
It looks good though.
Everybody says that I have the haircut, and I was like, it's not about
It must
the
have
haircut.
taken a long time for you to get one because it's noticeable enough for people to be like,
Yeah.
dude, you got a haircut.
Well, my weekend started about 10 hours ago.
Yeah.
And it stops in 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to go right back into it because since we had Memorial or Sunday night off due to Memorial Day, I had to work Friday night.
So you don't get holiday pay then, right? It's just like...
Well, I get 8 hours of holiday pay. And they just didn't want to pay us for like a full shift after midnight.
Oh.
So instead they paid me like 3 hours of holiday pay to drive up here, and then 3 hours from 9 to midnight when I worked. So instead of 9 hours of holiday pay, or 9 hours of actual pay on the day, they want to just pay it 6.5.
Okay.
There you go. Whatever.
Too complex, yo. It's too much complexity for me. My brain, it just doesn't talk that way.
Yeah, dude, I know how you feel, Nate.
Tired.
But then again, we have different jobs. But some of the things you told me about work, yeah, yours is very demanding too. Like really.
Well, and what were you doing still texting me at like 2 o'clock, 2:30 this afternoon? I'm like, aren't you in bed yet?
I was in bed. I was winding down.
You were at Guitar Center. Yes, you were.
I mean, after that, I was in bed. When you only have one day off and you're on third shift, I can't do anything. Like I went and actually ate some food, and actually got to see the sunlight a little bit.
Yeah, got to
see other people other than the 5 people I work with.
Yeah. You know what I want to say to your new haircut? I want to say this. You may pet my head. Yes, I want to say that.
Thanks.
Thank you, chat room. That was your contribution last week. Now we have that on the soundboard, as well as this lovely little ditty.
Call your mother.
Call your mother. Yes. So there you are. it's part of your job, people. You tell us what the little clips you want for us to bring back out, and we'll go ahead and hunt them down like good little children. So... Yeah, that was, I think Bim asked for that Pet My Head one, so now it's on the soundboard for you. There you go. Marsha, you want Marsha? I've got to go dig up Marsha. I don't know if I have that one. It might be in the Dropbox. I could check.
She's in there somewhere.
Yeah, I know she's in there somewhere, and I don't know if it's in there.
Was it get on the train or get off the train?
It's get on the train, Marsha.
Get on the train,
she wasn't, Marsha
she wasn't
wouldn't
going fast enough.
Because she was like, she got lost on the train platform. That was the deal. Marsha was like,
train platform.
Marsha,
it's the side with the giant moving metal sausage. I mean, that's where the train is, with windows and all the people on it. That's the place you need to go.
Time, and Marsha was a little scatterbrained, and Doris was the one who was having panic moment where she's like, Marsha, get on the train, Marsha.
Come on, ride the train and ride it. Good call, driving.
I don't know if I have Marsha anymore. I have to go dig it up. It's from way back.
Giant moving metal sausage. Wow, that doesn't have that's not a head turning title,
right?
Well, it's a giant moving metal people sausage thing.
Oh, wait. No. I don't know what this is. Let me find out. How big is this? Oh, it's the Jules bot, Marsha.
Oh, okay. That's the Jules bot one.
Yeah. No, that's not the right one. Yeah, I don't know if I have it. I'd have to go find it.
Yeah, I have to dig it up.
I know it's episode 10. But
and I did have the isolated one at one point when I was doing all that.
Yeah, I'm sure you still have it somewhere if you've kept those files.
I probably do. It's probably on the old laptop because that's what I did most of the editing back then on.
Yeah. I know I could find it if I go and dig for it, but no worries. So we'll go find it at some point. All these people sneaking in, sneaking in, sneaky.
Sneaking in during raid. Yes.
Look at everybody's like, you got a haircut.
It'd been a couple months, and I usually try and only go like 2 months before I get a haircut.
Yeah.
But it took an extra couple weeks, and the last time the lady left a little too long in the front. Yeah. So if I pulled my hair down, it was almost down to the bridge of my nose, like almost right between my eyes. So it's been kind of like doing other stuff to stay out of my eyes, and it was finally got a few hours to do it after work today.
You're like, I'm cutting it. I'm just getting it done.
Yes.
No Arcane tonight. He is working. He will be here later, though. Unfortunately, he has to work, and that sucks. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he was quite grumpy, and not wanting to go to work today at all.
Why can't I just go to the chat room and then play some Heroes?
Yeah, like that was it. He was grumpy. He was not a happy camper. His dad actually had bypass surgery yesterday, and everything is fine. But it was a long day yesterday, and he was at the hospital with his mom, and which was not the most pleasant experience. And so he went up there again before work, and then came home and picked up his lunch for work. And I saw him for a few minutes. And before he left, and it was just like, I don't want to go. I felt so bad for him. I don't want to go to work. And I know you don't want to go to work.
Oh, man.
He really didn't want to go to work. So
that was me on Monday and Tuesday and well, all week.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, but he's doing really well, and recovery is going very well. So there's all good news there.
Good.
Kane said that he was joking. His dad was joking, shortly after coming out of anesthesia. So it was good. He was cracking jokes and that kind of thing. So yeah,
that's always a good sign.
Mm-hmm. But he is private about it. He doesn't talk about that kind of stuff on social media or anything like that. But, you know, if you guys want to send your well wishes when he shows up tonight, please feel free. I know he would really enjoy it. Because I'm outing the news, even though I'm probably not supposed to, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for it. But that's okay. I'll do it anyway.
It comes from a good place.
Yeah, I know. He just doesn't want to. He doesn't want to plead for, you know, well wishes and stuff like that. That's just how he is. So, well, you know what? I have had the beginnings of a migraine for the last 4 hours, and I have my migraine medication on board, and it's just kind of keeping it at bay. So, like, it's just sitting right there. So I have a feeling that when we get done with the show, unless it takes a corner, that is good, I'll probably be like, I'm going to bed. But it's on the pushback edge now, so I'm doing okay.
Okay, good.
Stupid migraines. Like, good. I'm so busy, and I have all these things I want to do, and I have so much to do, and I don't have time for you, migraine. So, we don't have time for you.
I don't have time for it.
It's a big, dummy thing. Why are we whispering?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Hey, Jules, I want to come say hi. I'm Mr. Migraine.
No,
How's your day going?
Out.
Can I come to the chat room too?
No.
I want to say hi on the chat room, Mr. Migraine.
No, the chat room does not like you.
But
you're mean.
But I'm not a bad person. Just when I come around, I hurt your head, and I'm sorry.
You are the most awful thing I can imagine that would happen to my head. You cannot be in my chat room because they're mean
that's
too.
Called for. That's not nice. I just try and. That's pretty mean. Why you gotta be mean, Jules? Why you gotta be mean?
Do you really want to hang out with these people?
Well, they seem pretty nice.
They are really nice. Why does you sound like Peter Griffin?
It's kind of like I was trying to find a voice for it. It was like half Peter Griffin, half Adam Sandler, like a slight Adam Sandler thrown in the mix.
That is the best thing ever, Mr. Migraine.
Well, I guess I'll just go ahead and leave you alone then if you're going to be
How about you go drinking some... Why don't you drink a lot of strong whiskey? How about that?
Oh, I do like whiskey. Okay, I'll go try some whiskey. I'll see you later.
Okay. No. You don't have to see me later. I don't want to see you later.
But we had plans at one point. I was going to bring, like, a pizza. We're gonna sit and have pizza. Okay, I'll see you later.
No. You can stay where you are.
Oh, okay, well, I'll just shut up.
There he goes.
Oh, bye, Mr. Migraine. Draven, thank you for the well wishes. I'm gonna talk a little bit about it on the show because the person gave me permission to. So actually, she told me to. So I will do that. So please make that a sounder. I was gonna bring a pizza. I can't believe there was a migraine gonna bring me a pizza.
I'm so sorry, Midnight. I didn't mean to come back to a creepy voice. It was not my intention.
That's migraine voice right there, isn't it? Oh, frick. My nail just broke. Okay, I hate maintaining my own nails. Can I just say that?
Yeah, you can say it.
Stupid. I hate them. They keep breaking. All right. I think I'm ready. You've gotten your voices warmed up, so I think you're ready.
Yeah, I think I'm officially awake now. Whoa. All right.
Rubbing your eyes.
Rubbing the eyes.
Is the chat room ready? Are you guys ready for a show? We've got a good one. We always have a good show. Planned. Ready Player One. Did you see Ernest Cline has a new book coming?
Yes, Armada, right?
Armada. I'm so excited.
It sounds like The Last Starfighter from the synopsis. Isn't that it?
Maybe I'm not that excited then.
I mean, like plot-wise.
Oh, okay.
I think it reminds me of that plot.
Your mom's here.
Bonesaw is ready.
Jules needs to get on the ball and get a ready check sounder. That is the one thing Jules needs to do. So Jules is going to write herself a note. Ready, check, sounder. Because I keep saying that before we do the show.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Chat room's ready. All right. Sound check, ready, sound check. Here we go.
This podcast is a part of...
Okay. Sound check, good.
Check. Mic check,
Wait
1,
until
2.
you see what I did at the end of the show. I'm so excited. I might not screw it up.
Oh, you did something new?
I did something new, and I am very excited about it. I hope it
You got this.
works.
I like your excited kid voice. You know, it's something new that we did. We're so excited to bring it to you today, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like excited.
We're
excited
so
kid,
goofy tonight. My
kid
gosh.
voice or concern.
We're so goofy tonight, and I love it. All right. You ready to read the front? You are reading that ad.
Yes.
Yay.
Warm up. La 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 la.
We're going to... Red Nate, I love you so much.
Thank you, Nate.
Mwah, mwah. Okay. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1.
Tonight's show has been brought to you by Doghouse Systems, makers of the best gaming PCs on the planet. Have you been dreaming of getting a Doghouse system lately but found the price point a little too high? Well, check out the Armor VS. It's been updated, has a new chassis, a new lower price, and can now be configured with either an i3, i5, or i7 processor. Go check out the new Armor VS at doghousesystems.com and enter the code TTT at checkout to receive a free additional 120 gig solid-state drive with your order. You'll be glad that you did.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the World of Warcraft podcast for you, the World of Warcraft player.
Welcome to episode 147 of Tauren Think Tank. Today is Saturday, May 30th. It's the last Saturday of May. Oh my goodness, where did this month go? My name is Jules, and I am joined by the newly shorn, very very noticeable to the stream, cut-haired man, Marconin.
Evening, Jules. Evening, chat room. And hello, everybody listening whenever and wherever you are.
You got to check
to
it
have
out
you
on the
here.
stream. It's so cute. Marconin comes on and everyone goes, Marconin got a haircut! It's so funny. It was the best.
You know,
It's like kind of noticeable, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's I've been very busy lately. May is always a very busy month, and I've been needing a haircut all month, so it got way too long. So I had to get rid of it. And today was the first chance I got to.
Well, the chat room has been they've been having a lot of fun with telling us little sounders that they want to add to our lovely soundboard. So we're slowly just adding little things onto our soundboard. And this is what I have to say to your haircut. You may pet my head. Yes, you may.
Yes, you may pet my head.
It's like that kind of haircut where you just want to go, because I want to rub it.
Actually, I did do that after I got out because I did do that on the back of my head. I was like, "Ooh, this feels good. It's nice, short haircut."
It looks awesome. So, what
Well, thank
else
you.
have you been up to besides like brand new look?
Work.
Oh, really?
It's been a busy week. I think with the holiday and working on the holiday, I had almost 70 hours this week. So it has been a long week. In the last 5 days, it's been a long week.
Damn.
Yeah, that's why I was saying I finally got a chance to get my hair cut like this morning.
You know what the best thing is getting a text from Marconin in the morning, and it's like 11:30 in the morning, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a little tipsy because we went out to a pub after work," and I'm going, "Day drinking? Well, yeah, you got done with work."
Well, it's like midnight my time, and finally get to go out and have dinner, and I'm already loopy from being awake for almost 24 hours, so it didn't help any. So I was like, oh, okay. And that was just funny.
That was awesome. That was really cool to hear. But I
was like,
I'm still processing the whole like day night thing. It does not compute in my head. But but what else have you been up to besides working? Because you can't have just worked and done nothing.
well, I keep my garrisons going day and night, while I'm at work and every time and while I'm in the hotel too. But I did move my hunter over from my home server into CTR. I wanted to go ahead and bring her into the fold, bring her garrison followers, and keep the money machine rolling so I can buy more mounts. So
Nice.
I now have 4 garrisons running on the same server. So that's good.
And when you're at work, you're actually accessing your garrisons through a remote desktop app on your phone. That's how you're doing it?
Yeah, I actually got the idea from I think it was Derevka when he was on CTR or the CTR podcast once, and he was talking about that. And I was like, that's not a bad idea because I'm awake all night. I might as well have them keep running and doing more missions.
Yeah.
And so it works out really well. And I just access it either my laptop here or my desktop back at home.
Nice.
And it's convenient. It's very, very convenient.
Nice. Well, that's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
at least you can, do something while you're on your breaks and be like, garrison time. Do you just leave you have to leave your character in front of your garrison table to do it? Yeah.
Yeah, you do that. You either park them right in front of it so that you can just click on it and you don't have to try and navigate the click to move feature that's still in the game that you can kind of use to walk around. It's a little clunky, especially with the lag between your phone and your computer.
Sure.
So, but it was going good. Brought her in, moved some money around, and because of that, I was able to buy the model Drake from the auction house. So I have another mount in the stables.
Look at that.
So
And what number are you up to now?
I think it's 256 now. There's once you hit the highest achievement, which is the Mount-tacular, the 2050 or the 250 achievement, you don't get like an accurate achievement-wise counter. So I have a total, but that's the total of all my class-specific mounts, all my mounts on the Horde side, and all that. So I've kind of had to just keep track as I go with my posts on Twitter saying, okay, well, 250 was this one, 251 was this one, and so I just go back and see what number I had on my last posting. It's always post when I get a new one.
Yeah.
So I just kind of have to just add one to the list and put it on there. I was like, okay, got a model Drake, and I've had a really good week with gold, so I may buy another one tonight. I don't know which one though.
What do you have your eye
Depends
on?
on the prices. I want to start getting the two rockets, the red and the blue single player rockets. Also, the Amani Dragonhawk sometimes fluctuates in prices between like 600,000 gold, and then it will draw. Someone will post one for 100,000. So if I can get in there one of the 100,000 Amani Dragonhawks, I may snipe that one out.
Nice.
So just kind of, I'm getting the ones I really want first, and then I was like, well, I could get the Raptor or the I think it's the Black Bear that you can get, and I'm like, well, it's just a plain Black Bear. Let me get that one later. You just kind of see which ones you want and how much money you have to throw at it. So that's kind of just a waiting game, waiting for more postings and seeing how much you get, and it's a lot of fun. I am very thankful with how easy it is to get gold in this expansion.
Yes.
And really feed my addiction. Thank you, Blizzard. Thank you, Blizzard, for feeding my addiction. So, but that's about it. I didn't get to raid or do anything. If things change and I get more time to play WoW, more time to do audio stuff, then it'll be different, and I can kind of put more energy into some other things I want to do. So that would be very cool if I can do that. So, but we'll see on that.
That's awesome.
So I heard that there was this dude that made things for the bad guys, and that these cats that are on fire got mad that he was making those bad things, and they made the bad man go away. Jules, how was your raid this week? How was your raid this week?
In terms of, speaking of Game of Thrones, and this is from season 1, so I shouldn't spoil anything, we made the bad man fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We took down Blackhand in 2 tries on Monday. Got in there with, we had 11 people, 12 people. We just had enough people. And one of our teammates, your friend Arole, hadn't been with us for a couple of weeks because her motherboard got fried. And so she was just coming back. She had not done any attempts with him at all with us. And Spencer laid out the fight and told us what we needed to do, called out everything, and man, we just came together, and it was like 2 tries, and boom, and nerd screams!
That's
nerd
awesome.
Screams! It was the best. It was awesome. We were so excited, and then we all looked at each other and said, well, what should we do now? because it was early on.
Let's go heroic.
Yeah, well, we decided
Is
that
that what
what
you
we would do is we would do a full clear, because what we did is we had folks who are in the group who are running Mythics right now, and so they have that door open that will allow you to go straight to Blackhand. So we left our lockout intact, just went right to him, and then all the 9 other bosses were still up. So we just gunned through the rest of the place and got it done in like an hour and a half.
Wow.
I mean, we were on fire, no pun intended. and so we gunned through it. We picked up a couple tier pieces for some folks on normal, and now we're gonna grab some heroics. I was so excited. Your dad in the chat room is asking, who is Spencer? Spencer is our raid caller. He's the guy who takes care of telling people what the strategy is and what their positioning should be. So he's the guy who tells us, okay, move to center. Okay, move left. You know, we're all kind of just following directions. And it's awesome when we do it and we figure it out and it all clicks and we're like, he's dead. So, yay. It was a great feeling, because I had actually, since I had never done it on LFR, on Julana, I didn't have Black Hands Fall.
Oh.
I didn't have the title, so it was, because I wanted to save it. I wanted to save it for that part. And that fight is a 3-phase fight, which is just like 9-10 minutes long, and if you get to phase 3 and you're just like, oh my god, where do I go? And like, you don't know, it's like, this group run left, this group run right, but no, we're at this other way. So it was,
Don't stand in that.
Don't stand there. Okay, position yourself straight. But we got it. I'm so excited. So
Yeah, I woke up, I think 2 minutes after you guys killed it, because I woke up and looked at my phone, and I see this wall of tweets from all you guys, from RLA, from Nate, everybody saying, Black Hand down.
yeah,
It's like, oh, I just missed it. And that was really awesome.
It was awesome. We had so much fun. And so we had a great night. We're going to start heroics this week. We're going to take like an hour, I think, and just take some heroic temps. And then we'll go back and clear what we can clear. We're slow and steady and having a blast. This team has great energy. And it's just a fun group of people. We joke, we laugh, we tease each other. It's great. I love Cat on Fire so much. My raid nights are one of the most favorite points of my week. So I wish that you can join us more often. But, let's get you back on some day shifts so you can come along.
Fingers crossed.
So I've been playing a lot of Heroes of the Storm lately. I am definitely... It's got its hooks in me. And I've been playing, and the nice thing about it is that I can jump in, I can play 1 20-minute match, and then I can go off and do something else. And there's dailies waiting for me that are needing to be done. So I can, if I only have 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I'll just jump in, play a match, go off and do whatever else I need to do. But it's a nice little break. And last night we were, Kane and I had gone out to dinner. We came home and we knew that Azeroth Roundtable was going to do some streaming last night. And so John pulled me and Kane in, and we were playing with a whole group of folks on their stream. We were playing versus each other, and it was so much fun. Like, that game is just... It's such a blast. I can't say enough about it. Once it clicks, and Jim Beverly will say this, he was talking to me about it, and he very frustrated with how the game was going. And I said, dude, it just has to click for you. Once you get it, it will be there. And he was like, yeah. But he kept at it. And then I got this message this week. He goes, Jules, it clicked. I got it. And it was like, yeah, it was what it was like for me. I really kind of drug my feet, and Kane's like, you really like it. If you keep going, you got to keep. And I'm like, bleh. And I just didn't want to get into it. And there was just a day where I was just like, I'm going to try it again because some of these characters look really cool. And now I just can't stop. So
I need to get to that point. I haven't had time to just dig in and get into it.
Yeah. So I had a blast last night playing. I was so tired I had to go to bed. So
Oh yeah.
We ate too much food at dinner, and then I was just like, food coma. So yeah, so we went to bed. And So that's been my gaming. But I did want to share a small personal triumph this week. I scheduled my very first coaching session, which is kind of a training. There are folks who have sent me emails and said that they wanted to help me out with my training. And so I've been scheduling these training sessions, and it went so well that the person that I coached with today has hired me as her coach for monthly sessions.
That's fantastic.
So I'm super excited. I want to toot my own horn a little bit because I'm really excited to be doing this. It is absolutely awesome. And I know that there are folks who are waiting to hear from me. And I promise you will be getting an email from me within the next couple of weeks. It's just time. I'm trying to juggle the show, and my job, working 30 hours a week, my family, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm doing on the side, and then trying to find time to get scheduled, because these training sessions take about an hour and a half of time, and I need to have that blocked out where there's no interruptions. So, but you will hear from me. And if you're really interested in learning more about it, just send me an email. My email address, my personal one here for the show, is jules@taurenThinkTank.com. And, coaching is about just making change in your life. If you've got something that you're just stuck on, or you want to try and work through with your job, your relationship, your family, your goals in life, that's what it is. And it's really awesome, and I'm so excited. So
I'm very excited for you. I got a very excited text earlier today about that same subject. So I'm very happy for you.
I feel like it's like I have my first dollar in the store that I got, like the very first the customer that came in, and I want to sign it and put it on the wall. That's what it feels like.
There you go.
So I'm super, super jazzed, and I really am looking forward to doing more of this, because it's exhilarating for me. I love doing it so much. So for the person that she wanted me to talk about on the show, and I want to thank her for trusting in me. And I won't name her because that's her private moments. But if she wants to write something in, I'll certainly read it. So there we go. So
that's awesome.
That's my little cheer. Yay. So here is a little bit of news for the show. The Triple T Pen Pal program is almost closed for signups for this round. It is actually tomorrow, which is the 31st, is the last day. It's the last day of the month, so it's the last day for signups. So if you want to get in on the Pen Pal program, now is your time. Hopefully, if you hear this on Sunday, you will be able to sign up to do it. So, and if you don't get a chance to get around to it, we will do another sign up in another couple months. Let this one clear. Let people get in on the action. But we've got a lot of people signed up already. I'm super excited to start matching you up with somebody that you want to hang out with and talk to.
And that's always exciting too.
I love it.
We get feedback about it too.
We do.
So nice.
I have this vision, Marconin, of like one day we'll go to BlizzCon and we'll see like these pairs of pen pals like walking arm in arm to like this group meetup.
Just skipping through the hall.
Where they're just like, la 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 la, these are my pen pal friends. Maybe that's one of the weird dreams I have at night. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, now that you said it, we may see that come November.
If you guys show up at BlizzCon and you're pen pals and you do that, I will laugh so hard and we will take 15 million pictures of you. I promise. So that is all the news, the stuff to update you for the show for right now. And so unless you have something else, without further ado, we would go into our discussion.
I don't think I've got anything else. Let's hit it.
Let's hit it. Not the gnome.
Let's kick around some ideas, not gnomes.
All right, maybe the gnome.
Every week. He's going to get sore eventually,
Yes. But, he puts up with us every week, so we have to give him accolades, man. He's a trooper.
You're welcome.
I love you, gnome. Okay, here's our discussion question coming from a member of our audience. And here we go. Hey, Triple T. I recall a few episodes back, you had a really nice discussion about people finding something they are passionate about and how important following your dreams can be. My dilemma falls into a similar area, except I already know what I'm passionate about. But I'm having difficulty deciding if now is the right time to follow my dreams. I'm an amateur stand-up. I've been at it for a couple months, and it's quickly become my favorite thing in my life. For the past couple of months when I was getting really into stand-up, I was conveniently unemployed, which meant I had plenty of time to write jokes and to go to as many open mics as I could. It was an amazing stretch of time. I made friends with a bunch of comics who, in my opinion, are the greatest group of people on the planet. That's right, comics are greater than Peace Corps. Get wrecked! And had some amazing times. Recently, I had come across some much-needed work in the form of an IT internship during the day, paid, and serving tables at night. The internship isn't really where my problem lies. It's serving that I'm worried about. My new work schedule makes it impossible for me to get any open mics on a consistent basis so I can improve my comedy. I feel like if I stay in this job for long, it will be the thing that crushes my dreams. However, comedy isn't something that's making me any money, which is sorely needed by many a college student, including myself. Now, I know I'm 21, young, with plenty of time ahead of me for procrastination. However, I can't help but think of so many people who I've heard say, I really wanted to do X, but I was never able to find the time, and I really don't want that to be me. My question boils down to, how can I be sure if it's all right putting off my dreams for later? Or do I need to just go for it, even if it means being pretty much broke when my internship ends? Is this even a question with a surefire answer? As you can see, I really need help. My current situation is no laughing matter. Thanks for your time. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Sincerely, Code and Comedy. P.S. I promise my act isn't all silly puns like that one. Great question. I love this question.
That is a good question.
So I think that there's so much here that and you know, the two of us come from a certain perspective in our lives that we've kind of gotten past this, the age 21, just getting started student thing, but we've been there. Mm-hmm. So, but I wanted to read a comment from the chat room that first just came in there, and it's from Alessandra, and she said, record your stand-up, put it on YouTube as a weekly show. I think that's a fantastic suggestion. So we'll hold that because I didn't want to lose that comment from the chat room, and we can kind of talk about some of the roundabout parts of it. But I didn't want to lose that comment. Marconin, when you were 21 and getting out of college or part of a student, being a student and trying to earn your keep to get started, tell me a little bit of what it was like for you.
Well, back then I think I had just switched from being a music major to being in broadcasting. Okay. But I was still in band all the time because that was what I really loved to do. And it was paying my scholarship. So, of course, I had to do it. And so I was also working at an arcade all the time. Yeah. So I didn't really have much free time. And my free time usually went to either homework or being in band. So I was pretty much just barricaded in that frame of mind, and there wasn't much room for me to think outside of that, because it was more about just get through your classes, do what you want, have your free time when you have it and enjoy it, but really, kind of dig into what you've got right now, because you do, I did have what I thought is plenty of time afterward, because you are 21, you've still got the rest of your college to finish out and at least get yourself positioned to where you can go out and get, quote unquote, real job. Right. And also, and I was very thankful in that what I loved to do and my passion was also paying my scholarship too. Yeah. So that helped me a lot. And I got to work at an arcade for, rent money and, random spending money. So that was nice too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there wasn't really any kind of, I didn't really have a talent that I wanted to do kind of in the same situation. So I did do, a little bit of gaming on the side whenever I could. That's when I started playing MMOs, was around that time. Yeah. So that's I kind of got to play a little bit back then, but Yeah, as far as music, which is what I could kind of relate to that, I just kind of did it whenever I could.
Yeah.
Just find a spot, find a time, and just do it when I could. And if you get a spare moment, just if like I would think with working with serving tables and working in IT, those are two areas where you could find a lot of good material
Hmm.
because I don't know if you've been to a public restaurant in the last, I don't know, 100 years, but there's some interesting characters when you go.
Like last
Very
night
interesting.
when I went to the restaurant and there was this woman whose voice just pierced through every conversation going on in that busy restaurant.
Hmm.
And I wanted to smack her because she was so annoying.
She had one of those voices that carried, huh?
Yes. It was just, and she was grating and she thought she was funny, kind of talking down to her daughter. And it was so irritating. And every time I would have a conversation with Kane, I could hear this woman going, "Ee!" Like it was just a screeching type of voice. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's so much that goes on in restaurants. It's like, it's prime material. But, I think you and I shared a similar passion. You went to school for broadcasting. I very much dreamed of going to broadcasting school. I was this close to, I'd really considered it. And I was married to my ex-husband at the time. And I sat down with him and I told him, this is really what I want to do. And we talked about it. And he just said, we don't have the money, because we didn't. And it was, we'd made other choices. We'd bought a house. It was not the time. We couldn't make it with me going to school full time. And so I had to make the choice to continue on with the paying job that helped me pay the bills, to have the house, and to live in the lifestyle that I wanted. So, and it took me until I was in my late 30s to come back to that dream again and start doing this show, which has, it has turned into so many amazing things for me, for you, and things that I would have never dreamed of. And so what I think is very cool is that if you're talking about open mics that are kind of this schedule type thing and your job prevents you from being able to attend those open mics, why not think outside the box like Alessandra suggested? Talk about the hardest audience out there. YouTube commenters can be the toughest ones out there.
Oh man.
But if you start to create a show that gains traction, it can go anywhere.
Mm-hmm. The only hard part of doing like YouTube shows is that there's no audience. That's the only downside.
Yep. So,
and that you can't get their feedback. That's the only thing that's the only issue I would have with doing it.
Yeah, because stand-up comedy is a very energy based relationship between the performer and the audience. And if your material is good because you can see it on their faces and their reactions. So if this is the path that you want to do, then it would be thinking about what is important. What is the most important thing for you right now? You have a paid internship and you have a job serving tables. You took that job serving tables for a reason. So it must be, I'm guessing it's financial, to pay off the bills, to be able to have the money to be able to do what you're looking for. So is there compromise? Is there anything that is, if the ability to drop the serving tables job is not there because you need the money to be able to survive, you've got a basic need right there that needs to be filled. Like a roof over your head and food and transportation. So, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I was just saying that's definitely, you've got to cover your bases first. You got to have a roof over your head. You got to have food in your belly, place to sleep, place to eat, so that, once you cover those basic needs, then you can start thinking about other things. But yeah, just to make sure that you're in a good spot.
Yeah.
Environmentally. That should be your first concern, because you can always get back to it. I know with comedy's a lot like any other performing art. If you don't do it for a long time, you don't really lose the ability, but you lose the proficiency
Yep.
and the ease at which you get into that headspace and you get into that frame of mind to actually execute the art. Because I know, like, since I don't play trombone most of the year, my lips, my embouchure and everything like that doesn't say as strong as it would like in college when I was playing 8 hours a day.
Right.
So you've got to keep it up. And I know a lot with comics, I've heard that when you get out of comedy for a long time and you come back, it's really hard to put yourself in that way, because there's a lot of funny people out there. I listen to comedy at night on my phone. A lot of stand-up comics I listen to, and there's a lot of great people. And so it's very like it's pressure, because you better be funny. Like, you don't go to somebody doesn't say, "Oh, you're a farmer? Well, you better make my food. You better make that wheat good." But with or walk up to a doctor, "You better do that surgery." But if people can come into a comment and say, "You better be funny tonight.
You better be funny. You better be making me laugh.
Yeah, so there's a lot of pressure that goes along with that. So it can be pressured, but if you got your material, man, definitely keep track of it. If you think of something funny, write it down, put it in a Google document or something so you can keep it away for when you need it. Keep your material going any chance you can, because if basic needs first, definitely. Yeah. But if you come across something that you need to save for whenever your next open mic, whenever you get a chance, then definitely keep your wheelhouse of jokes going.
Yeah.
And just have them, ready to go if you need to, or whenever you do an open mic night. Because I don't know how long the internship is for. So the internship, isn't a permanent thing.
Right. It's probably finite. And has an end date, so that's also something to look at. But I guess I'm torn here, because I am a strong supporter of encouraging people to follow their dreams and to tell them to seek out their passion, and when they find it, hold on to it with both hands for as hard and tight as you can hold on to it, because it is. I realize I could be taking very much out of context, but but the most important thing when you find something that you love is to foster it and to not let it go. And it's tough when you have that possibility, that love, and you're torn between basic need and the desire to really just put yourself out there and go for broke. So but obviously choices have been made. And the one thing I will say that at age 21, you do not want to mess with your credit. You do not want to put yourself in a position where you put yourself in debt, that you can't pay your bills, that you get collections calls, that your credit score gets hit. No, because it will follow you and it will haunt you for years and decades, and you will spend more hours of your life trying to get yourself out of it than you could have spent just making sure to avoid it. So I would say absolutely, 100% do not sacrifice your future for your present.
Yeah.
Because that's something that you could easily just kind of throw caution to the wind and say, F it, I'm just going to go put myself in credit card debt, and where I fall, I fall. But, I would never advise that, because you'd wind up you'd be paying for it for so long. And if you ever decide to get married, and your debt winds up becoming a problem if you want to have a home and, to have children and buy a car, and there's just all these things. I mean, you're 21, you're just starting out, so make those good choices now to make sure that that debt does not stack up. And it's tough if you're in it. It takes a long time to get out of it. So, but be creative in what you can do. If the job is not allowing you to go to open mics, can you make sure to schedule your days off in advance when you know one is coming up to
see if you can switch with somebody.
right.
Switch shifts, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that.
Yeah. Get creative. Look for opportunities. You know, I know serving, you're going to be working those Saturday nights because that's when people are going out to eat. It's a busy time. It's probably prime time. It's difficult for you to get a night off. But I don't think that open mics are usually like Tuesdays or Thursdays or some off, like Sundays. So it's not the prime nights on a place that's going to specialize in entertainment and comedy. So if you can try to coordinate that to be able to do that, you know, it's practice, it's time, but it doesn't pay the bills. It doesn't pay you anything. It just pays you an experience.
And the experience is worth something. It is worth a lot, but it doesn't put food on the table today, unfortunately. And you gotta strike that balance between, you know, gaining experience in your passion and also doing what needs to be done.
Yeah.
To
I could see him doing something like a Google Hangout where there are a bunch of people who are actually live on there with him and he's doing a performance and he can hear them laughing or hear them go, ah, you know, just that whole thing.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
There are ways you can do this. It's just a matter. And, you know, it can be, I could see it being things where you can get creative, where if you start to build an audience of people who can watch you online and be supporting you via methods like Patreon or donation or things like that, you know, it would be a way for you to hone your comedy. And, you know, because it is, the internet offers us a lot of ways to do these things that aren't just having to be present in an open mic night.
Yeah, that's very true. And, you know, especially with the internship, you know, being a temporary thing, your situation will change. You know, your hours of work will change and you'll have to do something different. So there's always a chance for the schedule to open up and you'll get more of a chance to do it. But I really like that, the Google Hangout idea. If you can just get a group of people together to do that and test out your comedy.
Yeah.
That would be very cool. That's a really good idea.
You start spreading the word. I mean, it's a very interesting, fun way to interact with people, and it's a good opportunity for you to see how people react. You know, chat rooms are one thing, and you'll see reactions on a delayed status, but comedy is very much a throw the line out and watch them immediately react, and you can't just wait for that reaction to hit. It's kind of like, because it literally would be like, hey, chat room, how's everybody doing tonight? Crickets. Oh, good. Okay, awesome. You know, the energy is not there, but something like a Google Hangout. And I can see technology starting to get down that road. Google Hangout is kind of a janky system, but there is plenty of types of things. You know, I've seen people with their phones on Periscope out there just hanging out with a group of friends, and then you've got a whole bunch of people who can respond to you almost immediately as you're doing something live with your phone. And so it's a way for you to possibly build an audience. So yeah.
And
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, my dad actually put a couple things in here. Even though he doesn't really have much experience with it, he said, do something every day that you believe in, that you believe will take you a step closer towards your goal. You know, so even have you ever tried your comedy out on your on your customers when you're waiting tables? Nothing like huge, like don't go through the whole act, but you know, maybe slide in a joke every once in a while.
That's a challenge, though,
That's
because
a challenge,
they're not.
They're not really the target audience.
No, and unfortunately, you know, you've got people who are just, you know, you become an interruption when you're the server.
True. That's true.
They're there to spend time with each other, not, you know, you come in to take their order, bring their drinks, and be like, yeah, thank you. Okay, and I'm back to my conversation. But I think there's plenty.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm always kind to my servers. It's a crappy job. And I know it is, but I always smile and I always thank them and I always look them in the eye. You know, I really want them to know that I appreciate them. But when you come in to ask me how things are when I've got a mouthful of food, I'm not going to be able to answer you right away. Instead, I'm going to become and nodding really.
I think they do that on purpose.
Because then they don't have to you don't have time to complain.
It just seems to be the thing. It's like as soon as I take a bite or something, it's like, you guys okay? You doing here? Need anything else? And it's usually when I need something, it's like I need more to drink or you need something else, or, nothing bad, but and then it's like, oh, a second, let me eat.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I really need some more ranch dressing, but I can't get that out yet.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm always nice to my servers too, because there's enough people that are not nice.
Mm-hmm.
You got to counterbalance that.
Yeah.
And there's no reason not to be nice, especially if they're doing their job at least moderately well, at least average.
Yeah.
You should be nice and just be courteous. But if they're not good, then talk to the manager. Mm-hmm. But other than that, you shouldn't just be a jerk to your wait staff.
No, and I see way too many people that do that. So kudos to all the wait staff out there, because you guys have a really tough job, and and it's appreciated for those of us that go out to dinner and don't do it very often. So
tip your waitress. Try the veal. We're all week.
Code and Comedy's sentence that said, I can't help but think of so many people who I've heard say I really wanted to do X, but I was never able to find the time. And I think that if there's a difference between postponing your dreams to a better time and giving up on your dreams completely.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, I probably gave up on my dream pretty early on when I was in my 20s, of being on broadcasting, to do a show, to do something. Never in a million years would I have dreamt that it would become this, but it has become more than I ever imagined. I imagined that I would be on some kind of morning show, that's what I dreamt of, to be able to be hanging out with people and talking to them on their morning drives and, all that kind of stuff, because that was what I knew. Because it wasn't, 20 years ago, it was not this. And, so, but I gave it up. I said, it was a pipe dream, and it was something that I never could do. So I just gave it up until it came to a point where I was realizing that I could, and that it was possible to put that together. And then it was jump in with both feet and get it done. So I gave up on my dream, and then I found it again, luckily. And some people don't ever do that. Some people just say, I always wanted to be an actor, and I always wanted to go to Hollywood and be an actor. And, it's a tough gig. It's so hard to break in. Comedy's the same thing. Mm-hmm. But I look at it as, if you do it because you love it, and you do it for the love of the craft, it doesn't matter if you go to some hole in the wall bar and have an audience of 10, or you're Jeff Dunham, who's got a stadium full of people that are watching him perform. It's because you love it.
Yeah, if you're going into comedy for the money, you're doing it wrong.
Right.
Just like if you're going into broadcasting for the money, you're doing it wrong.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it will turn into what you want it to when you find the love for it, and always remember to do the love part. Have the love part for it first. I'm downright giddy when it becomes time for Tauren Think Tank. It's like, I come in and I'm just like, it's almost time. Where's Marconin? I want to get on the call now. I get so excited. And, and you do too. And it's just, so awesome, because we have the best chat room in the world. We have the best fans in the world, and you guys just keep us going and make us happy. And so when you think about your dreams and the things that make you happy, that's what you got to go after, is the love for it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it is. So, what else do you have to say about this lovely letter? Anything?
I was just going to kind of reiterate that, don't give up on your dream, but if you have to postpone it and just kind of work at it behind the scenes until your situation gets to where you find another avenue for it,
mm-hmm.
then that's okay. Because a lot of us have put off our dreams. I can't be in radio right now, and the way that the industry is going, I probably will never be able to be in radio. But even though I kind of gave up on that aspect, of course, we have this show and we have all the stuff that we can do online with it. And it's kind of the medium changes. So, if you need to postpone it, that's fine. Just keep it in your brain. Remember why. Like Mufasa said, remember who you are. Just remember. Yes, to past can't hurt. But yeah, keep your dream alive. Don't let it. Don't snuff it out. But if it needs to take a back seat for the moment until you get a better living situation, to where you can do it and not starve at night or sleep outside, then that's okay.
Yeah.
Because you have to take care of yourself first.
Yeah, and keep yourself out of debt
as
much as you can. Keep yourself out of debt. You will thank yourself later when you are 30 and you are like, I want to buy a house and I do not have to work through my crap credit to do it. So I've seen too many people that just, yeah. So anything else you want to talk about for Code and Comedy?
I would like to hear his materials sometime.
I know, right? If you do
cool.
a show or if you do an open mic and you want to send us a recording of it, we'd love to see it. That'd be very cool.
Absolutely.
Give Marconin something to listen to at night.
Yes.
Yes.
Because after a while, you hear the same jokes over and over. I listen to impersonators a lot, like Frank Caliendo and Pablo Francisco. And of course, I've heard all their stuff. So I'm sitting there imitating the imitators while at work. And then occasionally something new will slip in. So, I'm always up for listening to new comedy.
Excellent. Well, we wish you a ton of luck with everything that's going on, and would love an update on how things are going, what your decisions are, where when your internship ends, what kind of decisions you've been making around it. Would be good to know. Good to know about that stuff.
Yeah, keep us updated on that Code and Comedy.
And if you guys want to send in your discussion topics for the show, anything that we've talked about, want to kind of jump off of, something brand new we haven't talked about before, you can do so at questions@taurentthinktank.com. That's our email address. We love your letters. We've got some really good ones waiting, and we can always use more. So send them over. If you got something burning, it's time. Send it on over. It's pretty awesome. So... all right. And you know what else is awesome, Marconin?
I have a feeling I know what's really awesome.
You know what's really awesome? It might be these lovely people we call our patrons.
Yes, our patrons. We wanted to take a moment to thank you guys because we really appreciate what you do. And if you guys don't know what Patreon is, it's a way for you to, if you want to, send us some support in running the show and keeping up with it, because our show will always be free. You don't have to worry about that. We're not going anywhere. We're not going to start charging you. We're not going to make you download CDs of our show or buy CDs of our show.
I don't even know if people do that anymore.
Download CDs. I don't know. What's a CD? Anyway, even $1 a month would help us greatly. And we've actually revised our goals lately. We are very close to our first goal, which is a fully searchable database of all the questions and answers on our 147 shows.
Yeah.
So if there's something from early on in the day and you don't want to have to root through all of the little things, which I would encourage you to do anyway, because it's still good stuff. But if you just want to search around and see what we've been asked and how we answer it, then our first goal is very close to being hit. And if you guys want to jump in and help us, we've got a lot of great rewards. We've got a really cool keychain and necklace that our friend Nevermore has made. We have a limited number of t-shirts from BlizzCon 2014 that we had at the Smash Bash there in Anaheim, and we've got a few left over that we can give you as well.
Yeah.
So if you decide you want to help us out, if you want to, you can always go to patreon.com/Tauren Think Tank, and they'll help you out with it. They'll put you through that, and we greatly appreciate everybody that helps us out.
Thank you, patrons. You make this show awesome even more. We thank you so much. All right. So we've got, what do we have here? Oh, we have a question.
Yes.
We have a question. It's time for Think Tank. Woo.
Tauren between options? Let Triple T help you sort it out.
It is time for the think tank. This is your advice questions about situations around World of Warcraft or gaming in general or just life in general. Usually it's requests for advice, perspective, and what would you do if you were me? And we have one just like that for this week. Here it is. Hey guys, I found about you from a plug on the instance, and I love the show. I have a situation I want your opinion on. For a little background, I work night shift, and therefore I need a late-night raid team, which can be hard to find. Well, not long into Warlords of Draenor, I finally found a guild that I love, and I'm now an officer of. It's a small guild, and we don't have enough active members to run our own raid, so we have ended up running a joint raid group with a guild on another server. The raid leader is very good and knows what he's about. He's also very patient with people when they make mistakes. Shortly after we found that group, we found a second guild, this one on our server, that wanted to run joint raids with us. This is great for me. Although this makes for a busy raid schedule, I love it. The problem I have is with a member of the first raid group. She is a little grating on most of the members of my guild and started inviting herself to tag along with our second group since all three guilds teamed up one night when we were all lacking bodies. Later, I found out that she started integrating herself into other aspects of my guild leader's and his girlfriend's WoW life. She seems a little stalkerish. This alone doesn't bother me that much. I tend to think along the lines of the more the merrier, but this person is not somebody I wanted to follow me around for multiple reasons. First, she is the one in the group that stands in the fire constantly, and when confronted about it makes excuses, blames the healer, and whatnot. Couple this with an attitude and sly remarks aimed at other members of the raid, namely members of my guild, make me less than excited to run more raids with her. We brought up our concerns with the leaders of both raids. A leader of the first group said that she has a history of this type of tomfoolery and has been removed from raids for it in the past. The leader of the second raid acknowledged our concerns and said he would keep an eye out for her specifically. Both leaders backed us up in having a chat with her about our issues. The discussion was had, and for about a week she did seem to be trying hard to be better in raids, just not with raid awareness, but also with attitude. However, 2 weeks later, with the second group, she kept talking over people to answer questions directed at the raid leader with answers that were wrong, and her answers were given in a rude way. She also kept trying to make call-outs on a progression fight our group was having trouble with, wouldn't pay attention when being called to run out of the group with Melt on Blast Furnace, and resulted in causing one of our wipes. All this resulted in another discussion, this time involving both raid leaders talking to her directly. She is basically on probation now. My question is, what can I do to help the situation to be as smooth as possible? Do I just need to take a hands-off approach? At what point should I recommend removing her from the raid group? I know she has officially been given a second chance, but for me, it's her third chance. I just want to support my guild leader as best I can and want things between our guild and other guilds that we run jointly with to be as amiable as possible. All the best to you and yours, from Legion.
Alrighty, and Legion didn't say anything about being an officer or anything.
He
like
is
that.
an officer in his guild. Yeah, it's very first.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. He is an officer in his guild, so he does have authority in his guild.
Mm-hmm.
So, just the brief synopsis. He is running with a guild. They don't have enough people to raid with, so they're partnering with two different groups, running two different raids, and sometimes all three together. And there's one girl on one of the teams that is causing issues.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, every team has challenges. Sometimes it's with strategy, sometimes it's with personality, sometimes it's with both. And so I think that this is not necessarily a team dynamic question, but a leadership question. That's how I'm reading it.
Yeah, that's kind of how it feels at the end.
Yeah, because I think for Legion, he's saying I'm not really keen on running with her, but nobody seems to be doing a lot. Well, they're doing things to try to address it, but she's not going anywhere, and the problem doesn't seem to be resolving. And that's really frustrating when you're a member of a team and you feel like this is, I've been there. I've been with annoying, frustrating people, and it's difficult to be able to get along with everybody. And when there's someone who's causing that problem, it can be really stressful. So what do you think?
Yeah. Well, I think he pretty much answered his own question with the hands-off approach, because a lot of times, especially when you have these group situations, I've had this happen at work, is that someone breaks the rules, they're given numerous chances, it's like, and they keep doing it, and it's like nothing's being done, and it's frustrating because it's affecting the entire team. It's affecting how work's getting done. It's affecting our team morale. It's like, the heck are they doing? Like, because we're not seeing anything. Well, you're not seeing anything because you're not supposed to. It's not directly your concern, because even though it affects the whole team, it's an issue that I think you were right. And the two raid leaders, the guild leaders, they're doing right by addressing the issues, by giving her a chance to improve, and then seeing that improvement. I think eventually, if things don't continue not to go well, that they will escalate the either reprimands or just stop bringing her along. Mm-hmm. But that it does sound to me like, I know it's frustrating, but you've made your concerns known, and they do know. And as long as they are decent enough leaders to stick with it and pay attention, I think it'll get better eventually, either by the one player, it's either put up or shut up. They'll either improve or they'll be gone.
Yeah.
So I know it's frustrating right now because you're in the middle of it. And that's the thing with groups of people in this kind of situation. Change happens usually slowly, especially when you've got these degrees at which they're not taking the just cutting the person immediately approach, which wouldn't be the right thing to do anyway, especially if they're trying to get better. For some people, if their personality is such to where they feel like they want to kind of take charge and make the call outs during the fight, and they think they know what's best and they want to do this. Sometimes that's not just them being mean or being a jerk, or it may be just a personality trait, because I know people that are like that. Mm-hmm. They can't help it. It's kind of who they are, and they have to stop and think. Sometimes they're not thinking of the entire situation of how their expression is coming across, the way they're talking, the way they're acting, the way they interact with people can be misinterpreted.
Yeah.
And so it may be something on their end that it's crossed wire somewhere between the communication from them and the interpretation by us. Mm-hmm. So it may be one of those things that they're not aware of, and that's why the raid leaders are taking time with them to try and make them improve, to try and bring them up to the rest of the team's level. Instead of just cutting your losses, you want to bring them up to your level. So I think that's why it's moving slowly, and hopefully it's going to improve. So yeah, I do kind of think that, as long as you kind of keep their feet to the fire a little bit about it, and make sure that they are still aware that if things do get better or they do get worse, that they are still aware of it, then you're still okay. It almost seems like it's since you can't make those decisions yourself, since you're not one of the leaders, you can just be a voice of advice and showing a different perspective besides the raid leaders, and then that person that's making the doing the wrong things in the raid.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's the mark of a good leader is to be able to, I've seen marks of good leadership here, because they're listening to the concerns, they're hearing the concerns, and they're taking action on it, because he is aware that she has been talked to. And both raid leaders have sat down with her to say, this is not okay. As long as they're giving her examples of what is not acceptable behavior. We would really prefer that you not make call outs during the raid over the raid leader. Answering the questions of the raid should be done by the raid leader, and those answers should be not coming from other people. So I see that, but it's so frustrating when you see, like, the writing seems to be on the wall with this girl. Mm-hmm. Because she's taken the feedback and then can't seem to help herself. It goes back to the same habits and continues on without awareness of her. And so a good leader is going to sit back and pull her aside after the raid and quietly tell her, that thing we talked about where you talked, where you agreed that you weren't going to talk over the raid leader. You did that a couple times, and that's kind of frustrating. And so that in itself is, you've got to point it out. You've got to give them examples of the behavior, because sometimes it's an awareness thing. I mean, some of us have these habits that we don't even know that we do, and it can grate on people's nerves. And if you point it out and you're not willing to hear it, you're not willing to hear, everybody else is the a-hole. It's not me who's the a-hole. You guys are all the a-holes. And someone points it out and says, no, really, you're the a-hole. And they go, and that person is like, oh, hell no, I'm not. It's just you guys. You don't know what you're doing. You don't understand. And so there's got to be a willingness to accept feedback. And we've talked about this on the show and in previous shows. Giving feedback is very challenging, and accepting feedback with an open mind is even more challenging. It is so hard for some people to receive criticism, including me. I mean, I hate it. I hate receiving criticism. I used to have, it was so hard for me when I was younger that just the slight thought of anybody being critical of me would put me in tears. It was that level of anxiety and fear and, oh my gosh, I screwed up. Oh my gosh, I upset somebody. Oh my gosh, I'm a terrible person. Oh my gosh, I suck. All those things. And sometimes we learn from an early age to be able to reflect those feelings of anxiety and fear and inadequacy is we fight back. Well, no, I didn't do that. No, he said that first. That's not cool. No, it's not my fault. I didn't do anything. It wasn't my fault. And
it wasn't me.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand. I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to make it better because this raid isn't going to get any better without my help. And it's all deflection. It's all ability to try and take off those feelings of anxiety and fear and stress and inadequacy and turn it around on somebody else because it's not you, because we're too afraid to face it. It sucks. It's a terrible feeling. So, giving feedback is a skill. People don't get born giving good feedback to somebody. It's a trained thing.
Yep.
The golden rule of giving feedback is start with something positive, end with something positive. So you start out and let her know, you're a really good DPSer. Really appreciate your attendance. You're always here and ready to go. You're prepared. Just want to talk to you a little bit about your approach and talking over the raid leader, because that's something that's very it's been disruptive to the raid. It's causing more problems when you talk over the raid leader because he has to then clarify what you said because you didn't always get the right answer, and that can be hard. But we really value your opinions. If you would like to send a message to the raid leader and share your opinions to the raid leader privately, that's okay. Give some suggestions and give her some options to make her feel valued. But at some point, she's going to be, she doesn't take that feedback and really work on it and show I really want to be here. I really want to stay here. And it's important to me. And I will listen to what you have to say and I will follow it. She might have to go.
Yeah. I mean, eventually, if it doesn't improve and the raid leaders continue to be good raid leaders, then they will be forced, their hand will be forced and she will be cut.
Yeah.
At least that's my hope anyway, if she doesn't improve.
Yeah.
So I think you're just in the waiting game between hopefully come on, you need to get better. And either she does get better or she leaves. So you're right in that middle of she's been given 2 chances already, or you said 3 chances. Yeah. Sometimes it takes 3 chances, but I'm hoping that she'll either put up or shut up soon because she'll be kicked out if not. But I think your raid leaders, I really compliment them for the way they act, for the way they handle this situation.
I agree because this is work. This is hard work Because not only are you volunteering your time to lead a raid and to coordinate a group of people and spending your free time to do this, to have fun, it's work when you've got people who are not getting along or not integrating well with the team, and you either have to give them feedback to help them improve, or you have to tell them that they are not welcome to join you anymore. This stuff ain't easy. It's not pleasant. A lot of us would stick our heads in the sand and hope that it went away before you had to address it, because it sucks. It's work. It's not fun. It's not.
Yeah.
So, and it's this drama stuff that you don't want to have to deal with. You want to show up, you want to raid, you want to kill bosses, get loot, go home, and come back the next week and be all happy and singing Kumbaya. Do people do that?
That's what we want. That's all we want. Loot and Kumbaya. That's all we want.
Chief Fulton in the chat room said it's a thankless job, and I absolutely agree. It can be a very thankless job. That's why I mean, every single raid we have, I thank Spencer up and down, right and left, thanking him for calling out our raids, to focusing us, keeping us informed and understanding the fights, because it's a hard job. And
it really is.
Unless you've raided, unless you've gone through the raiding process, it sounds like it's easy, and it is absolutely not easy. And the people who are leading it have an even more challenging job, and they're volunteering to do it. They're not getting paid for it. It's just that part. So I'm with the chat room when they're saying that you need to step aside, and but if your guild leader is asking for your opinion, most definitely give it. Share your thoughts about this and be honest. But remember that it is a tough job to get someone to accept feedback and willingly do it and want to make change because they respect the words of the person giving it. So
definitely.
It's tough. This is really tough because when you've got a drama llama like this, because she is kind of a drama llama. Drama llamas like to cause strife and be a know-it-all, and there's not a lot of respect for those in charge. There's not a lot of respect for those who are more knowledgeable, deference to those raid leaders because she wants to tell everybody how it is, but she's not following her own advice, causing wipes, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's challenging, but I hope that they can work through it. My thought, if I were to guess, if I were a betting woman, which I kind of am, I would say she's probably not gonna make the cut if she's causing this much strife and frustration for people.
Yeah, I'd have to agree too. We always hope that they'll get better, but you got to be prepared to put the hammer down if need be.
Yeah.
And make the cut.
Because the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And when you have somebody who is causing this much frustration and drama in your team, one person keeping them around, that's sacrificing the satisfaction of the other people on your team. She may make a stink on the way out and may cause you some strife afterwards, but who's more important? Your other raid members or just this one person?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And so, for you, you're kind of in a tough place because you're not a raid leader. You're not one of the raid leaders, but you are talking to the ones and you're knowledgeable about what's happening. So share your opinions, but respect the fact that job belongs to some other folks. And if it becomes a point where you just don't see any forward motion, you may need to make some decisions about your raiding future, because it's about you and at the end and your happiness getting stuck in there. And if you're not happy, you're not going to want to raid.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Simple as that. So, we wish you a ton of luck, Legion. Do you have anything else that you want to add to this letter, by the way?
No, I think we both pretty much said how I was feeling. They're doing a good job with the rating, with their leadership and the way they're addressing it. It's very professional, at least the way it sounds.
Yeah, so far it sounds good.
Just take a step back, and if they need you, they'll let you know, pretty much.
Exactly. All right. I think we're in good shape with this letter, and we wish you a ton of luck. We hope that it works out for the best. we hope that it turns out to be what you're looking for, which to me sounds like you're kind of looking for her to go. And, hopefully she can turn it around. But my betting side is saying it may not be the case. But that's just me. So
She may have a losing battle ahead of her if she wants to clear some bosses.
She might. She's got to put up or shut up. And if you wanna kill
it's very challenging when you've got that one person that's kind of dragging the team down, or is that one little kink in the armor,
Man, we back in the days where I think we were dealing with Firelands. I'm going all the way back to Firelands. I had on the team, we had this guy, nice guy, very, very nice guy, but he could not follow directions to save anybody. And it would literally be, we would know that this person would end up standing in fire and dying over and over and over. And when you're dependent upon having 10 people at the time, you need all 10 people to be alive or you don't kill the boss because you're just on the edge of the gear cycle and you're trying to get it done. And it was so frustrating because we knew that we were carrying him through, but he was so nice. And it was so hard to tell him, dude, you need to shape up and get out of the fire, dude. Like, you can't do it. But he, after a while, it was just like, and the raid leader at the time was just not willing to take him out because it felt like kicking a puppy. So. Yeah.
And you don't want to kick a puppy.
You don't want to kick a puppy. It sucks. So anyway, so this is a little aside. I know how it feels because you feel like the worst person. This person at least has a little bit of abrasiveness around her that maybe doesn't make you feel so bad that they're going to be taking out. So
yeah, that's very true. And I know it was very challenging for you to have that such a nice person, but they're still not doing their job.
I know, and it caused so much frustration. And it was like people were just like, "Oh my god, we were so close! If you had just stayed alive." I mean, how many times have you heard that in a raiding situation? If that person had just stayed alive, we would have killed the boss. Don't you feel like the biggest a-hole if you are the person that keeps dying because the team doesn't succeed because of you? I had those
I've
moments.
been that person before. Yeah.
Oh, I was like, when
bad.
I was raiding in heroics, when it was the top tier, when I was raiding heroics, holy crap, I had a thing, a maneuver that I had to do, and it would not click in my head because it was like all these things coming at me from all directions, and I could not get myself out of it. And I always died to it, and I just got yelled at over and over. And I'm like, I hate heroics. I don't want to do heroics anymore. All right. I think it's time for us to switch gears a little bit and do some fun things. Like, I don't know, tell us one thing. How's that sound?
Tell us one thing sounds really good.
I think so, too. And let's play a bumper, and then you can read.
Okay.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
Snuck it in there. Now you can tell us. It's time for Tell Us One Thing, and it's brought to you by
the Iron Man Challenge. It's one of the most difficult challenges in World of Warcraft. You level your character wearing only white or grey quality armor. No using potions, elixirs, heirlooms, and most importantly, you cannot die. If you die even once, you're out. Thousands have tried. Less than a dozen have succeeded in this ultimate test of endurance and skill. You think you've got what it takes to take up the challenge?
No.
You can sign up at wowchallenges.com and follow all the fun at wowchallenges on Twitter.
I don't think I have what it takes, Marconin.
I think you could do it.
I was thinking about trying it. Like, I have no time, but I was thinking about trying it and watching how far I would get.
You can do it. I would suggest either a lock or a hunter.
Yeah.
Any of those pet classes.
I could do like a no more lock. That would be fun. Yeah, maybe I'll think about it. Like, you know,
give it.
I have zero free time right now, like seriously. So it's like I'm trying to fit in heroes matches here or there, and that's it. So anyway, okay.
Yeah.
Tell us one thing from BBC Alex. When and how did you first discover your talent for voice acting or radio shows?
Well, I think it was growing up. I loved cartoons, just like everybody else, and would listen to the voices. And I think the first accents that I really wanted to work on were British accents because they sound so regal, so sophisticated, more educated, and more learned. And I watched I watched a good bit of kind of British television. I remember staying up really late at night sometimes, and they would put Mr. Bean would come on.
Yeah.
Rowan Atkinson
Yeah.
would come on, and of course he doesn't say much. Hello, look, Teddy.
He
He'll
didn't
say it's
say
very,
much at all, though.
he's very, very silent character, but all the other people in the show would talk. And then of course, my favorite was on PBS at night. They would play "Are You Being Served," which is a British comedy television show about people who work in a department store. And there's like 9 characters, and and it was funny watching it, and so I kind of just absorbed it and practiced it, but and it was just very fun to emulate it. And of course, when I played with toys when I was a kid, I would give them all different voices. And in fact, my mom, I don't know if she still has it, probably has video of me playing with toys on the table and doing voices and all that stuff for the characters. And just through the years, I would just do all these characters and just try and emulate them as much as possible.
Yeah.
So it was from a young age, pretty much, that I would do that. And my dad agrees. Yeah.
Your dad and your mom are both here tonight.
Yeah. I remember doing my stepbrothers were playing Final Fantasy VII ages ago, of course, and I was just doing the narration for the voices because back then those games just had music and they didn't have voices.
Yeah.
So I would do different voices for each character, and it's just that's how I don't know. It's just I just tried to emulate them. It's not one of those things that you just discover that you have the ability to emulate one's voice and their cadence. It's something that comes to you, and you've got to study it. And really be aware of where your throat and mouth are.
Yeah.
Where and I did a couple acting classes in college just to do that because it was something I wanted to try and be a little bit better at.
Yeah.
And they had dialect books where you could get audio CDs and stuff of the different varying dialects across the world. And I started listening to a couple of them, but I think it didn't help me as much as just listening and trying to absorb how they say it and all that stuff. But yeah, that's how I did it.
Mine, I used to do silly voices when I was a kid all the time. One of my favorite ones in high school, I will never forget. I had a friend in high school, and we would talk in Indian voice, like in an Indian accent, for hours. Like the two of us would just be like, "Are you going to the store?" Like back and forth. No, I am not going to the store. And so we were doing that kind of thing. It was like Apu from The Simpsons, back and forth all the time. And
Can you bring me back a squishy? Like a large squishy, please. Yeah.
Those were the best. Like we would just laugh and laugh and laugh, and we'd do it for hours. But mine, a job that I had actually got my broadcasting voice up to speed because it was a larger corporation, and they had this very intricate phone system, and they needed somebody to update the recordings for the greetings. And so it it was like happenstance that it happened to fall into my department that they needed somebody to do that. And so I started to record, and with doing that, because you had only, like on a phone recording, you literally have to, dial in, hit the recording number, and then it goes beep, and then you have one shot to record it. And if you screw up, you've got to delete it and you've got to start it again. Yeah. And so it was practice, to be able to be like, "Thank you for calling this company. We appreciate your business. Please hold while we get, la 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 la." And so I had the announcer voice on that, and people would be like, "Oh my gosh, you are the voice of this company." They used to call me that. That was the name of that was my unofficial title.
The voice.
Yeah, and so they they used to call, it's the company that Kane works for, and I don't think he wants me to say it, so I won't. But
that's very cool.
yeah, and so it was like 100, I'm sorry, like 275 recordings that I had to do for different departments and hold messages and all of that. And so I used to record these things, and then anytime we had a holiday. Thank you for calling this company. We are closed from this date to this date in observance of the Memorial Day holiday. We will return on blah, 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 and that kind of thing. And so it was that's how I got my announcer voice, my broadcast voice.
That's very cool.
Mm-hmm. So
that's very cool.
It took me a while to adjust just being, getting in front of a microphone and being me,
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm on microphone, I am speaking like myself, but I'm more animated. Like there's more of me on this. I'm up, I'm high. Not technically high, but I'm high. So
yeah, you're on a high.
Yeah, it's an amplified version of me. So, but I love doing silly voices. I used to do them for Kiddo all the time. She used to call my hand the talking spider, and so I'd have this thing of like, and so the talking spider, she's like, talking spider, where are you going today? I do not know where I'm going. Where are you going? And she'd go, I don't, she's like 3, and she's like, I don't know where I'm going. And I'd say, well, you need to figure out where you're going. It's like, it was this improv thing. And she would be like, talking spider, I stole your butt. What happened to my butt?
Where is it? Please bring it back to me.
You must bring back my butt. I don't understand what happened to my butt. And so
where is my butt?
And then it would be this thing where she would like smack him in the nose, and he would have a different accent. I don't know where my butt is. Where did you do with my butt? So it would be, and that would be how I would practice different voices. But I never get her to go to sleep. And so I had to stop her from doing this because I would lay in bed with her for like an hour, and she'd be like, talking spider, please say more. And I'm like,
talking spider says go to sleep.
Yeah. Talking spiders.
No
more talking spider. So like, yeah, no more talking spider.
No more talking. He has to go to bed tonight.
Yeah.
Talking
So sometimes if I'm playful with her, I'll be like, what happened to my butt? And she goes, ah. So
I was wondering if you still did that with her.
Yeah, it's rare because it goes down a rabbit hole that I will never be able to get out of if I let it go too long. So yes. So there you go. You want to read the next one?
Yeah, this one's from Memmonth. What do you do when you're bored and want to be creative? For me, in the past, it was Legos, and now it's Minecraft.
Are you a builder?
I have been. I loved Legos growing up, and I do play Minecraft every once in a while.
It's funny. That is a part of my brain that does not function. Like I just people talk about Minecraft and Legos, and that part of my brain, it just is not functioning. Like it just, my parents, like my uncle, I think in our basement in my house, they had, you remember the old erector sets? Those old, like architectural, like, they had all of the steel and metal and iron and screws, and you create these big Ferris wheels and all that stuff. And I so wanted to do that. And my brain was just like, no. So I am not a builder.
Yeah. I actually, a couple months ago, I was at dinner at my grandmother's house, and my nephew was there, and he likes Legos. And he was trying to put together one of those little Star Wars sets. It was the Millennium Falcon, but it was like the little bitty one that like Han Solo fits in. And he was like, I can't do this. And I was like, well, look. And I'm trying to show him the differences in the models and try to show him how I think about it and how to follow the instructions. Because Lego doesn't say you need to put this here and this here. It's just like, you've got these pieces. This is the before picture. This is the after picture.
Right.
And it's like, spot the difference. Where's the difference, and how do you make this look like that? And trying to help him with that. We worked through it. And so it was very cool. But yeah, I used to be, I loved Legos growing up. In fact, at BlizzCon, the Sunday after BlizzCon last year, I went to the Lego store at like downtown Disney or whatever it is.
Yeah.
and I bought that Back to the Future set with a DeLorean, and I laid on my bed and like for an hour I was putting it together and brought back a lot of memories that way.
Aw, see, I wish I had that. I mean, Kane loves Legos and he loves building stuff, and I could not. Like my brain just. So when I'm bored, I I'm not a maker. Like the most creative stuff I do is I dream up of business ideas, like things that we can do for the show, a cool promotion, or what can we do for the stream. That's where my creative stuff comes from. It's like, oh, like when we had the stream with Kalani, it was literally like a brainstorm when we were doing our raid, and I was like, oh, you know what that would be an amazing like patron stream, and have everybody come hang out with us while he plays piano, because it's like, I love this, other people would love this. And so I get creative in a business mind. That's how it works for me. So yeah, but I'm not a maker. I don't draw. I don't write songs. I write. Sometimes I write, but it's very rare, because writing can bore the hell out of me. So, so yeah, it's funny. I'm a creative without being like, arty creative.
Yeah. And I think of whenever, I'm not bored very often because I've always got something going on or I have to go somewhere. But usually if I'm in the car and I'm bored, I'll start thinking of things, and kind of going back to the last question, I'll start doing voices, or I'll start thinking about things and just talking to myself. And that's how I come up with ideas for audio bits sometimes, or I'll be like, oh, I could do this, or I could do that. Maybe I need to remember this or that, or I think of a song parody or something. It's just, that's kind of where my brain goes, is trying to figure out something I can add. Like I was at work last night and came up with like 2 or 3 little ideas. In fact, one of them I'm gonna try and hammer out tonight after the show.
Yay!
Because I had a cool additional idea I'll tell you about later, Jules.
Oh, I'm so excited! I love them.
Yeah,
I love.
But that's pretty much all. Because the only time I'm really bored is when I'm driving, and I'm listening to podcasts or something, and it just gets to where I just start thinking about things and thinking about audio I can do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm in the car and I'm listening to podcasts, sometimes my mind will drift on, like if I'm working through a challenge, or I need a new idea for this. That's like the Pen Pal program idea came to me in the shower, So it was literally like, ooh, that could be really cool. And so that's what I create. And Marconin creates ideas for voices and bits and things like that, and music. You didn't talk about parody songs too. You come up with parody song ideas. So yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. From the creepy one, with Blizzard expanding into other game genres, what type of game would you like to see next?
Oh goodness. They threw us a curveball with Overwatch for sure, because I never thought that they would do a first person shooter.
Yes.
Or like a team-based shooter. And also with Hearthstone, like if you'd asked me before Hearthstone, I would have said a card game, because if they'd have done a really like, I was kind of upset when they took out the WoW collectible card game, because I was like, oh man, I wanted to get those mounts, and it was something I wanted to learn one day. But then they brought in Hearthstone. I'm like, oh wow, this is fun.
Yeah.
So I love Hearthstone, and gosh, what other types of games do they not have? I mean, we have RTSs.
Yep.
We have dungeon crawlers. We have an MMO. We have a team-based shooter. We have a card game.
We need mobile games.
Mobile games, yeah. Well, we do have Hearthstone, but yeah, another mobile game would be good.
One of the things, if I just need to kind of zone out, and what are you laughing at?
Just Chief Fulgen in the chair said Blizzard should do an MMO. That just got me pretty good.
I would like to see a couple things. One of the things that I like to do when I just need to zone out and kind of clear my brain is I play Bejeweled. I love Bejeweled. And a thing like that would be an amazing, like, kind of, fun mental challenge. Like, how fast can I beat the clock kind of thing. The other thing I would love to see them do is create something like an RPG like Mass Effect, very heavily story driven decision making. See where, like how Telltale is doing their stuff. I would love to see those very story driven decisions matter to the outcome of the story type of RPG. Sorry. That's what I would love. That would be very cool.
Now that you said that, I'd have to agree. What I would love for them to do is take Overwatch and put that as like a prequel game, and put the RPG as a prequel, like during the war, because it was a big war. The whole world was at war.
Yep.
And it was Overwatch that brought peace. And like there's the dude on the statue, and I forgot the guy's glove. He's like, he could punch through a mountain or something. Go back and tell that story.
Yeah.
Tell the story before we got to Overwatch to see where, because I know we've got backgrounds of where Tracer comes from and why she can blink around, and it's a cool idea.
Yep.
But I would love to see, it's almost like Gotham is on TV. I want to see how they got to where they are now, even though we don't even have Overwatch yet. But I love the visual. Like I showed last weekend, I think, last weekend I showed my parents the cinematic trailer for Overwatch, just to see and it was, and seeing it again, every time I see it, it just puts me in a good mood because it was such a well-made trailer. And that's what I would love to see, is this, how we get to where they are now in Overwatch.
Yeah.
Was Widowmaker always so evil, and why does she have different colored skin? Where does, who built what is it? Zenyatta, the robot monk.
Yep.
And Bastion, why does Bastion like the little bird on his shoulder? Was he once human? Or I was like, I give me this, that Blizzard's so good at building a universe. I want to see more of it. I don't want to just run around a map getting shot by people all the time.
Yeah.
I want to see how we get there. And if they can do like a Mass Effect style game like that, I'd be all over that.
It'd be very cool.
All
I love
over
that. Love it. Yeah. So there
That's
you
a
go.
great idea.
There you go.
Good question, creepy one.
Good
Like
one. Go ahead and read the next one.
Our next question comes from Lord Melvin. What do you consider Blizzard's premier IP intellectual property? And will it still be around 10 years from now?
Obviously World of Warcraft, I think, is still the premier IP. But things are changing. What's happening right now is that the worlds are starting to merge. And Heroes of the Storm shows it's a merging of all the worlds of Blizzard coming into one location to play together. And I think that is driving a lot. But Hearthstone is based on the IP of World of Warcraft. So that's a strong piece of it. And then you've got Overwatch, which I think is going to become a very strong, people are going to gravitate towards it because it's new. Blizzard has almost become its own IP in a way, because even though I don't really play Diablo a lot and I've only seen StarCraft, I know who these characters are, and I'm learning more about them as I play their other properties. And so I think Blizzard is its own premier IP. I think that they do a good job in integrating all of it into one and making you a Blizzard fan versus being a StarCraft fan, a World Warcraft fan. That's how I'm feeling about it right now.
Yeah, I don't know very many people that just play one Blizzard title. That's the thing, is that they're all one lends itself to the others, because they're very open about the interconnectivity between them, with offering pets for WoW when you buy StarCraft, or offering portraits on Diablo for StarCraft, or pets in WoW and all that stuff. So they're they're like, hey, if you like this game, we do have others that are just as good, and just try and bring you into the fold. But yeah, I think I'm really hopeful that Overwatch will be very strong 10 years from now. I don't know where WoW will be in another 10 years, because if people keep paying to play it, I'm pretty sure we'll still be around.
Yeah. I'm going to give this full credit to Kane because this is his idea, but he believes that Blizzard will come out with a program to pay for their stable of a monthly fee to pay for their stable of games. So you will pay the fee, whatever it is, $15, $20 a month, and you will get access to all of the games, expansions or things like that as a ongoing monthly payment that would allow you to that would basically lock you in. You'd be in there, and
I could see
obviously
that.
they've got to kind of tweak in there. So, that's fully Arcane's idea, and I think it's a good one. He thinks that Blizzard, now that they've kind of started to focus away, and not kind of, they are focusing away from World of Warcraft being like the big flagship, with the other ones being like, yeah, by the way, we have Diablo, and by the way, we've got StarCraft, and where this last BlizzCon was the major announcement was Overwatch. And Heroes of the Storm and Hearthstone, with a little bit of World of Warcraft, Austin. So I think the times they be changing, and
and they have to roll with it. They have to it to stay financially viable and viable in the gaming world. They have to adapt to what people are doing, and adding in the multiplayer shooter and the MOBA. That's the way to do it. Because that's what Blizzard didn't have an MMO before WoW.
Yeah.
And they were all playing EverQuest and are like, hey, this is fun. We should do something like this.
Yeah.
And they always take their spin on whatever's popular and they make it their own. So that's what they're doing. And we're seeing it, change from one form to another now because,
it's good.
All started with orcs and humans.
I'm sad that things are changing. World of Warcraft was the king, the dominant king for so long, and it's there's really no denying that things are changing now. But I'm okay with it. I feel okay with it because I feel like there's more for me as a gamer now that I don't feel like if WoW ever decided to lose its luster for me completely, that I would just have to go someplace else. So I'm happy to be a Blizzard gamer. I'm happy to be a Blizzard fan. Even this podcast is becoming a little bit more of a Blizzard-oriented podcast versus a World of Warcraft-oriented podcast, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, because it's just evolving with time. So, my little dude Garrus is doing the full-on upside-down Superman right now, and it is the funniest thing. He's asleep on the couch with his paws directly above his head, just like blissed out. It is the cutest thing ever. So I love that little kitty. Okay, nope, not the last one. We have a second last one. Is this mine? I have to read this.
Yeah.
Yes. This is from Facebook, from Jackie B. Someone set the Wayback Machine. You've been transported to the beginning of WoW. Knowing what you know now, what class do you play and why?
That's an interesting question. Because I didn't play right at release of Vanilla WoW. Played like 6 months before Burning Crusade came out, and I didn't even get any kind of rating situation. I would probably pick Mage still, because I want to go back into Naxxramas, the old Naxxramas, during Burning Crusade when you could still go in there, and I want Medivh's staff. I want Atish, because Khadgar has it now in Draenor, and I want it. And you can't get it anymore. So that would be like my goal. Plus, there's a couple of old mounts that you really couldn't get. I would farm the heck out of Zul'Gurub to get the Swift Zulian Tiger.
Yes.
And the Rizashi Raptor.
Yes.
Because those I am so... and I would really work hard to be in a raiding guild that would get the black and the plagued proto dregs. Basically, I'm going back in time to get more mounts. That's pretty much it.
The stuff I cannot get.
I have never seen a player with Atish ever.
Yeah.
Never seen it, because you only had I think less than 1% of the raiding or the gaming population ever got to set foot in Naxx and clear it.
Yeah.
So there's so few people, and probably none of them play anymore, or at least I don't know of any that have played anymore that had that staff. And that's
I know.
That's some serious cred if you have that thing still.
Yeah, those right there. If I wanted to go back to the beginning, the very, very, very first character I ever rolled was a priest. And then I quickly realized that leveling up as a first-time character in World of Warcraft as a priest was going to be a bad idea. So I switched to the rogue, which is what I played up to level 70. Because I joined about 3-4 months before Burning Crusade launched, and so I played the rogue. And as soon as the rogue hit level 70, which was in Burning Crusade, I just put her aside and rolled a paladin. So, but I really liked the priest. I had this love for the priest. I don't know what it was, but I think I would go back and I would stick to a night elf priest and go all the way up as a priest. And I still, to this day, I don't have a strong priest character. It's never stuck with me. But I feel like if I'd gone back in time, it might have, if I had done some things differently and known what I know now.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be just be very greedy. I want all the old titles, all the old mounts.
Yeah, because you didn't know that they wouldn't be around anymore.
Mm-hmm. It definitely. I would I'd be very greedy. I was like, I want everything.
Out of it. I want it all.
Give it to me.
That's too funny. Read the last one.
Yeah, the last one comes from Daniel R. It's years down the line, and WoW is shutting down. Where do you spend your last moments in game?
This would be hard for me because I don't know if I would if being in a place in the game would be as important to me as being around and with chatting with the people that were most important and being there. So I mean, maybe it's Stormwind. Maybe we're all gathered in a spot in Stormwind, but my most important thing would be I wanted to be surrounded by my friends and in voice chat as we watch the servers go down together in the same spot. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's going to be Stormwind or the going back to like Astronar or something like that where, you know, I remember my first moments in game and my most excited moments as a young night elf. So, yeah, and so that's probably what it would be.
Yeah. I've actually had this happen on the Matrix
you've been
Online.
Through this.
I was there when the servers fell. And what we did is all of the devs for the game were in game, and we were all at like there's a place that most PvP congregated at. It's kind of like because we didn't have global chat or a trade chat in that game really, so a lot of the people would stick around this one neighborhood in the city. And there's a church nearby, and there's a club that you could go in and have parties and all that stuff. And there's a lot of good places for PvP around there. And so we had our big farewell at the monument that was close to that church near there. And the devs were there. They pretty much gave us god powers. We could they granted a lot of abilities to the players. And I got a super rare item in the game because I asked one of them for it. And he was like, oh, yeah, let me make that for you. And I was like, yay.
Yay.
So I have tons of screenshots from that last day. And then as the servers went down, we all died. You know, I was around guildies the whole day. We went to all the different locations and posed and took pictures together. And you were right. It was very more about the players that I was with, those people.
Yep.
And than it was the game, even though I missed that game terribly and wish they would bring it back officially. But
yeah,
it was really neat. I was right there by the developers and a lot of my friends. And then we all died and the servers went dark. And I was upset.
I would be too. That just feels so final.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds very final and very depressing. And then you're like, well, now what?
Yeah. I was on vacation on the Gulf Coast that day. And I stayed up really late into the night to be there when the servers died.
Wow.
When they cut them out. And it was
that's an event.
It was good. Yeah, it was good to be there. I was there from, I think, the 4th day that the servers were live. That, it came out on a Tuesday and I bought it on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was there from the beginning till the very end. And it was very cool to be there. So I would do something similar. I mean, I would love, I like Dalaran as far as a place.
Yeah.
Dalaran's great. Maybe even part of Pandaria now because I still love the visuals of Pandaria.
Sure.
I would be on one of my rarest mounts, flying around a little bit and be there with everybody, posing and taking pictures or screenshots with everybody, and it was It would be something like that, I think.
So sad. It's kind of heartbreaking to think about it if it ever happened, but hopefully we won't have to deal with that anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt it. There's still a lot of people that play the game.
Yeah,
so.
not anytime soon.
So that does it for our Tell Us One Thing questions. If you would like to send one into the show, you can do it on Thursdays on Twitter. That's Tell Us One Thing Thursdays at taurenThinkTank.com. Well, no, at Tauren Think Tank on Twitter is what it is, or you can go to our website and find where our Twitter is, and you can do all that stuff too. Email us at questions@taurenThinkTank.com. You can do that. Do it that way. Words seem to be failing me, so instead we'll go ahead and read some more stuff, right? We got an update and we have feedback, and we're going to do it right now.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now bring you... Wow, that's a lot of feedback.
Yeah, of course it is, because you guys sent us lots of feedback and we so appreciate it.
We love feedback.
We love feedback. All right, so the first one is the update, and it's from Ballas. Ballas? I can't remember how he pronounces it every time. Hi, Jules and Marconin. You always say you want to hear updates, and I've been looking for an excuse to write to give you one. Your last show hit a nerve, and I have some feedback for you, so it's time to write. But first, the update. I'm the Torrance, you can use my real name now, a little more self-confident thanks to you, who wrote way back in episode 129, the one with anxiety at work. I got really busy and had to take a few months off of WoW, and I fell behind on my podcasts as well. Long story short, things have been great. I still remember the advice Papa Conan gave in the chat room and all the outpouring of support from the Moo crew. I even followed Marconan's advice, and I have a picture of my wife and kids on my background on my work PC. I am doing amazing at work. I kept your advice at the forefront of my mind. I've kept my eyes on the target, and I am now involved in special projects, focus groups, and even scheduled for leadership classes. My evaluations have been perfect, and I have had perfect attendance. I couldn't be happier. Add to that, my wife and I bought a house closer to work, fixed it up ourselves, and our relationship has improved considerably. I am astounded at the progress I've made in a year. As I write this, I am exactly 2 weeks away from the 1-year mark since I was taken to the hospital for my suicide attempt. Thanks, Russ, aka Ballas.
That's fantastic. I'm so glad you're doing better.
This is like the best thing ever. I mean, Papa Conan, Marconin, the chat room all contributed to this success story. And if you remember from episode 129, he was having so much anxiety at his job that he was afraid people were talking about him behind closed doors, that he was having bad evaluations. He was stressing himself so badly that he was losing his job. And
yeah, it was a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. And so he wrote into the show. We talked at length about things that he can do to try to focus his energy. And it has turned out to be what we just read. That's fantastic. I'm so proud of you.
That is awesome.
I'm so proud of you, Ballas. That is fantastic. It is amazing to see what a mindset change can accomplish in just a short amount of time. And the lifestyle, just a mindset change, because that's all it was. It was doing a couple of different things, changing your mindset, changing your focus, and look at all the positive things that have happened in your life since then. It can really turn everything around. And it did.
It did. It definitely did. That is fantastic, man. I'm so glad it's better. That makes me smile so much.
Yes. That is fantastic. All right. Read our first feedback from YouTube.
From YouTube. This comes from Thandrin. Great podcast. Marconin and Jules, I am 100% with you on flying. I'm really disappointed that there is no compromise. We can't have flying in everything except Tanan. Really sad. I don't understand why it has to be so binary with them. 1 or 0. No middle ground. /moo.
And Ballas also weighed in on that topic where we went 5 minutes each about flying and said, sorry, but I disagree about flying. Good riddance. Makes the game more immersive. Bring flying to Warlords in 7.0.
Yeah, I can see that. We also have...
Go ahead.
No, you're going to talk. I was going to go to the next one, but you can keep going.
Oh, I just wanted to say, before in the pre-show, the chat room was actually referring to flying as the F word. So that is how things have progressed at this point, that people are so fatigued with the argument, with the discussion, with the both sides of the matter, that it's now become the F word.
It's funny.
I don't remember a time when a topic about World of Warcraft has gotten so polarizing to the point where people are just like, they are afraid now to even bring it up.
And Stone Grasp and this made me have a really weird, really funny, not funny visual, but he said just wait until BlizzCon, and that made me think of the Q&A panel for WoW. Just the oh man.
They might just want to cancel that right now. I'm just saying.
Oh man, that would be rough.
Yeah, Kane is pointing out that the original stance on Real ID was this polarizing, and I agree with you.
Yes, it was.
It was, and we've gotten to the point where it's barely brought up at all, except for when things like this happen. Where people are frustrated.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is our generation's Real ID.
Yeah.
This
expansion. This is the real idea for the expansion. Yeah.
Yes. But it's funny to see the chat room talking about it as the F word, because it has become such a sensitive thing to even talk about. And so, yeah, I just wanted to make that observation. So,
Okay,
that's
very true.
Next one.
The next one comes from Lagging Balls, which is funny to say. Thank you for making me say that one. I love the support for both Misty and the team tanking the pronoun boss on episode 146. Good stuff, guys.
And
I guess I could read the next one.
Yes, that's yours too.
Yeah, actually, my buddy Kleptic sent me an in-game mail, which is the first one I've ever gotten like that. He just said, "Thank you for your insights every week. It warms my heart." So thank you, Kleptic. I appreciate that. That was a nice surprise.
We love you, Kleptic.
Usually when I get in game and there's some mail, it's like, oh, what auctions didn't sell this time?
Yes.
And I look at there and there's a real letter in there. I was like, wow, a letter in the mail. What is this? Usually it's gear or auctions or money.
Somebody actually wrote me.
I know. It was great. It was like a little pen pal thing.
Oh, you got your own pen pal letter right there. Oh, we got a letter about the discussion from last week. Hello, my dear friends. How is everything? Marconin was talking about being raised by his grandmother. This happened to me too. When she passed away, I felt really bad. Not the way you do, but really bad. It took 5 years of my life to find another life goal in my life. In the meantime, I turned all my time to games, like 9 hours of games a day. Anyway, one day in high school, a girl gave me a listen for a while and we became good friends and then best friends, and now she is my girlfriend. I was really fat and weird. Better now, but this doesn't change the past. She accepted me for what I was and recognized me as a person and not a fat dude, and that's why we were making plans to marry. Anyway, one day things will get on track. Never give up and listen to a lot of good music. A huge hug and a big /moo from Lucas in Brazil.
That's awesome.
We love you, Lucas. I had to edit your letter just a little bit, but so that's why Lucas is not a native English speaker, so that's why it was a little different than normal. So we love you, Lucas. Your English is getting so much better. It's amazing.
And this next one says, "Hey, you talked about the little voice in people's heads that tells them to drive into oncoming traffic or jump off a building. I believe it's called L'Appel du Vide, a.k.a. Call of the Void," which I probably butchered the native.
It's L'Appel du Vide.
L'Appel du Vide. Hey, I didn't know that. There you go. Thank you.
Yep.
A.k.a. Call of the Void. And as far as I'm aware, it's a pretty common thing among people. Just my 2 coppers. Only recently found the show, but so far I'm loving it. From Topi. It's also known as intrusive thoughts.
This actually, that the dilemma or the thing is called, also known as intrusive thoughts. So Call of the Void is things like, an intrusive thought is things like what depression does and tells you that you're fat, or eating disorders do to tell you that, when you weigh 90 pounds, you're still a fat pig. Intrusive thoughts are all of that stuff. And so we all have some level of it. It's just a matter of when it becomes a problem is when it's a disease, a condition, those things that really cause those intrusive thoughts to go in there. I actually didn't. I've never heard of Call of the Void, so I learned something new. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it put me down a little rabbit hole to read all about it. I was like, I'm just reading all these things, and I'm like, yeah, that thing when you're driving along the road and all of a sudden you're like, what would happen if I just yanked the wheel to the left and drove off this bridge? You know, that weird thing that you don't talk about, but everybody has those every once in a while. Or you stand at the edge of a cliff and you're looking down and say, what happens if I step one more step and fall down? You know, those are the things that it's natural.
You're right. I'm glad this came up, because I was pretty sure I wasn't the only one, but I never, every once in a while those thoughts crop up, and I'm glad I'm not the only one.
No, they're absolutely normal. I think almost everybody has them. It's just that some people have them, and this came up related to our discussion of the truck driver who was having suicidal ideations 30 times a day. That is abnormal, obviously. But there are those moments, you're on a ledge, or you're in a plane and you're looking down and saying, what would happen if I just opened the door and fell out? Those things, those are called intrusive thoughts. They're called the l'appel du vide, or the call of the void. It is a natural thing. So
yeah, sorry, I butchered that.
No, that's okay. I took French in school. That's the only way I knew.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I figured it was French, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. So, okay. So now that we've gotten some education, or edumacation, or how we want to call it.
Yes, we got some learning.
We got some learning, and now it's time for some mooing.
It's the mooing time.
It's the mooing time. /moo time, where you guys share all of your cool things, the people that you love and adore and admire, and you want us to tell others about them. So here we go. This one came to you, so you get to read it.
This one's from Extemporaneous. It says, it was Extemporaneous? Yeah.
Yes.
WoW challenges. I'd like to give a shout out to Marconin and Tauren Think Tank for getting me into the Iron Man challenge. That's great.
Yes.
I remember favoriting this one on Twitter. So thank you very much for that. WoW challenges is one of our sponsors, and the Iron Man challenge is pretty cool anyway. But to see people, getting in there and really digging in and enjoying it, that's awesome. I'm so glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I just I want to give a quick shout out to those guys. At WoW Challenges on Twitter. He's been seeing a huge uptick of people that are coming in, and you guys are talking about it. There's people streaming. So good job. This is awesome to see. It's the success of this challenge. Something fun to do. From Moogiver, a /moo to my Natani Pally for the last few weeks. She knows why. Trying to do better, and she is the reason.
That's sweet. From Memeth. At Stig, so I guess /moo to at Stig for getting the AIE Nomads Minecraft server up and running.
Aw,
that's cool.
That's awesome. From Brian K on Facebook, /moo to everyone in the Facebook group, the Tadpool. Whether it be a personal issue, a technical problem, a gaming question, or just a funny thread to follow, the Tadpool is always there to help, send good vibes, give suggestions, or force a smile onto your face. They are the reason for more laughing, crying, and deep thinking than all the rest of my Facebook friends and relatives put together, and I love them. Thanks, Tadpool, for being there for each other.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This one's from LL says, first of all, I want to give you both a /moo for all the good feels you spread and awareness you create.
Aww.
Also want to give a /moo to some people I love dearly, who make every day bright, vibrant, and well worth living. Rayfist, Amanda, Kel, Nolo, Nicole, Drathan, Nam, and the ever sexy Super K. I'm likely forgetting some people, but these guys are the people that are near and dear to me, and I love them so much for all the good they bring to my life and all of those around them. Thanks for letting me sneak it in. You're welcome.
She got it in under the wire, and she also snuck in one for us. So.
Thank you, Elmo.
Thank Thank you, Elle. I love her. She's awesome.
She really is.
There's one from the chat room from at Wild Challenges. Slash moon to all the bosses in Blackrock Foundry. Despite our fierce attempts, they held fast and beat us back. They remain masters of their domain.
Yeah, we also got one from the game case, which I think is Cuddles. I'm not sure.
Yes.
But a slash mood to the rest of the CTR event planning staff for all their hard work lately. They've been working hard and putting up some great events.
They have been. We love those guys. And from Nate, slash mood to quoted, nevermore, I'm now a dual citizen of both CTR and AIE.
Took you long enough. Took you long enough.
Right?
Been trying to get her in the guild since BlizzCon. Come on.
Come on. That's Nate getting into AIE right there.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I thought he was talking. I misunderstood. That's awesome.
That is awesome. Welcome to the club, Nathan.
Welcome to the dual faction system.
If you would like to send a slash moo to somebody that deserves it most definitely, you can do so on Saturdays on the day of the show at Tauren Think Tank on Twitter. You can email them to questions@Tauren Think Tank. You can go to Facebook, facebook.com/Tauren Think Tank. You can do it all over the place. Just do it right. Right? So, my goodness, we're running out of stuff. Our show, you can find us on iTunes and Stitcher. You can find us on our website. You need to check out our brand new updated website, by the way. All of our YouTube videos are now attached to all of our shows. So you can see the episode right on the front page with the YouTube video attached. So if you want to just sit down and watch it, you can do that. I have the ability now to update the letters that rotate on the front page, and I have put up some brand new letters up there. So cool. And we've got some the website's got a lot of stuff on it. So go check it out. It's TaurenThinkTank.com. TaurenThinkTank.com is our website.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So, and you can find us on there too. So YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, all those great places where you can download the podcast. Marconin, what is going on in your world this week that you'd like to talk about?
Just more of the same, really. We've got a lot of work ahead of us this week at work. I'm gonna try and get some more wowing in when I can, and just keep my nose to the grindstone, try and make some progress on some other areas, and we'll see about that. So, just another week in the world, I guess. Just going. Oh, actually, the missus is flying to Ireland tomorrow for 2 weeks. Yeah, her and her mom are going as a graduation present for grad school. She's been saving up for a while for it, so she'll be on the plane tomorrow.
Oh wow! Well, safe
so that'll be
travels
pretty
to
cool.
her.
Yeah, I'm expecting lots of cool pictures.
Yeah, no kidding. Ireland looks like it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
But yeah, that's about it for me. What about you?
I have a very full schedule this week. I have quite a few coaching appointments this week, which is kind of cool. And I have I Remembered It Better coming up on Thursday. Hopefully, we had to miss this week because Ryan got sick at the last minute. Poor thing. We're coming up very close to episode 100 on that show.
Sweet.
I know. It's very cool. We just have to, not get sick and get there. So, so we're working on that. So we'll hopefully have an episode this week. And, just lots of stuff. There's some projects going on behind the scenes I can't talk about yet, but I hopefully be able to talk about it soon because it's super cool and I'm excited. And as soon as I can talk about it, I will. So yeah, busy. But yeah, we have a show and I think it is now in the can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have one more thing. My mom pointed out that my sister's Dirty 30 birthday is tomorrow. So my sister's turning 30 tomorrow. So a big slash moon to my sister. I've totally spaced out. That's what third shift will do for you.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like, what day? What day is it?
What day is it?
What day is it? Well, happy birthday to Marconin's sister. Welcome to the 30 Club. I am out of it now. It was a cool decade.
So far, so good on mine.
It's a good decade. Yeah. Now she's got to grow up and stuff.
Uh-huh.
All right, Marconin, it is time for us to bring this show to its close. And we will
Let's
do
do
that
it.
now. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
Our voiceovers are done by two Uber mages, Arcane and myself, Marconin. You can find us outside of the show on our website, TaurenThinkTank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us. Don't forget about your Triple T t-shirts. You can find those at /loot.com. 3 designs to choose from in different shirt colors. You can like us on Facebook as well at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. You can also find the Twitter for the show at TaurenThinkTank. You can find Jules at JulesRPG and Marconin at MarconinWow. You can also chat with us on the forums, so if you want to give those boards some love, you can find those at forums.signalsmedia.com.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, chat room, for being with us tonight and hanging out every Saturday night at 9 o'clock Central Time at twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank. That's our Twitch live stream with chat room. You can also catch us on mobile audio at tunein.alphageekradio.com. If you don't have the ability to be if you're on the road, you don't have the ability to do anything but listen on your mobile device, it's a great thing to do. We do love seeing you here with us when we do the live show. We also appreciate every download that you give us. So I appreciate you, download person, and you, download person, and you.
Yes, we do. you, and especially you.
Marconin, thank you for an amazing show.
Well, thank you for amazing show, Jules. Thank you.
That's all I have to say about that, because it was
That's
amazing.
all I
It was
gotta say
awesome.
too.
So, from Marconin, for myself, for Arcade, for our entire chat room, until next time, /moo, everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad. This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
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 I did it, because I fixed
Yes,
it.
you did. You fixed it? That's
I
sweet.
fixed it. It took me.
That's awesome.
It had like this moment where I'm like, oh, I could have been doing this all along. Like, really? I could have been doing this all along.
Whoops.
I rocked that shit. That was Draven flying.
Yeah.
Hey, Papa Conan, you gotta stop being all flirty and nice, because I'm sitting here trying not to laugh on the stream.
Uh-huh.
I love your dad, man. He makes me want to go, I'm just trying not to laugh. You're making me blush. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, man.
Oh, look, Jerry's here. Hi, Jerry.
Hey.
That's Jerry's little nugget. It's our friend Little Nugget.
Excuse me.
Oh, big yawn. Man, that hotspot was like the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
It held up like a champ.
Yeah, it's over there on the nightstand, and it's got full 4G service here. So that's when I saw the signal strength here. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna do the hotspot for the show.
I'm freaking impressed. Like, that is awesome. And I was sitting there going, "You're really gonna tether your phone? Like, are you sure? Like, is that gonna work?" And it's like, "Damn, that's some good shit."
Yeah, it does. If the signal's strong, it works great.
That's fantastic. I'm a happy deal. Happy.
Yes.
All right, chat room, lovely people. It is time. Unleash your show titles.
I've got a couple I wrote at the bottom of the.
I know Nate has his what happened to my butt is probably
Where's my butt? I've got Making the Bad Man Fly, Loot, and Kumbaya.
Loot and Kumbaya is a strong contender.
Yeah, Drama Llamas, and wow, a letter.
Wow, a letter. We had some really good haircut height. My brain doesn't talk that way. Giant moving metal sausage. These are all pre-show stuff. Thank you, Blizzard, for fusing my addiction. Loot and Kumbaya. I really like that one. Where is my butt? Where is my butt? And I'm not technically high. All right, for me, it's between Loot and Kumbaya and Where is my butt?
Yeah, those are the two Those are the two strongest ones for me too, I think.
And Drama Llama is in there, but I don't know. We've never used that for a show title. I know we haven't, but
that seems too easy almost.
I could make that
Like
the subtitle if you really want it, but if you guys really want it. But okay, between Loot and Kumbaya and Where Is My Butt? Give me those two and see what you think. Vote llama. Thank you.
I would go closer towards Loot and Kumbaya, but yeah, I don't know. They're both good.
Kane, did you miss me talking about Talking Spider? I don't know if you were here for that. You guys like Loot and Kumbaya? Yeah, that seems to be the
Loot and Kumbaya. Sorry about screwing up your /moo there, Nate. I read the chat room wrong. I was like, don't.
Okay, he did catch it. I didn't know if you were here for that part or not. I think you were, but what happened to my bot? Where is my bot?
Where is my butt? I cannot find it.
Where is my bot?
Servants, where is my butt?
All right, it's Loot and Kumbaya with a subtitle as Drama Llama. What is that, Kalani?
That's Ingoyama Legiti Baba. What is that?
You're doing? Is that the Lion King? Is that what that is?
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay, I don't know the actual words. I know what the phonetic sounds are. Okay, the Circle of Life.
Sorry, Stone. I haven't been awake for very long, so it's
It's 11:15. You've been up for hours.
I
know.
Yeah.
You're like in morning coffee time right now.
Yeah, like I pretty much just woke straight up and got ready and sat down for the show. So I'm hungry, so I'm gonna get some food. Yes. And then stay up the rest of the night.
I love our chat room. Goes without saying, but I love our chat room. You guys are amazing. You do all the work for us. Just like,
Yep.
You keep all of our notes. Do you guys have any sounders you want us to grab? You tell us. Any little sounders. Oh, and Nate sent me the Ready Check. They're telling you go get some sleep. He just got up though.
Yeah, I just woke up, so I won't get to bed till probably noon tomorrow.
You don't have to drive anywhere, so you can just basically get up and stay up and.
Yeah, it's right down the road.
Dravin, you're not sleeping again. The sounders are they're the little bits
It's like a
this.
soundboard.
This is a sounder.
Call your mother.
Call your mother.
Like our
I was
radio
gonna
shows
bring a
will do.
pizza. That was so if you were here for the
Yeah.
pre-show, it was Mr. Migraine talking to me. I was gonna bring a pizza. Is it really loud? I can drop the volume on the soundboard. That's fine. You want me to? The thing is if you're not here for the pre-show, you would have no idea what that was, Mr. Migraine.
Yeah, I can. Hey, how's it going? I'm back. How did you guys have?
No,
a good
I
show?
told you to leave. My medicine kicked in about halfway through the show, and you are out of here.
But I wanted to bring the pizza, but then I'll go. I'm trying to be nice.
No, you need to go hang out with Mr. Hemorrhoid.
Don't put that on me. I don't want him around me. I don't like Mr. Migraine. He came over and ate on my food one day. I don't like him. He can leave me alone.
Oh, I'm crying.
Mr. Hemorrhoid's grumpy.
He's very grumpy.
He's agitated. Yeah, the deep south, Buttress. He's from the deep south.
Oh, he's from the deep south. He's from very deep. If you were not here for the pre-show, I was talking about how I had this migraine that was just kind of sitting on the edge, and I took my migraine medication before the show, and it was just like sitting on the edge. Like I figured it would kick in during the show and I'd be fine, and then Marconin started with the Mr. Migraine voice. And all of a sudden now it's Mr. Migraine and Mr. Hemorrhoid.
Oh man.
I make myself laugh.
Oh. Yeah. 20, yeah. Yeah, Mr. Hemorrhoid's from Deep South.
Oh,
near
yeah.
the swamp.
he's
lives
from
in
the
the
swamp.
That's gross.
Ew.
Oh.
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 Oh, man. I'm glad we
Got
can
to
make
watch
you
you laughing.
Oh, it's a swamp ass PSA. Oh, I love that so much.
I don't think I've seen that. I need to see that.
Go
Is it a
Google
video
that right
or just
now.
audio? Okay.
I can't play it on the stream because I'm not set up to do it. Otherwise, you can't
Yeah.
see my video. I could turn that off. Because you don't need to see me at the moment. But I could pull it up and play it. But go Google.
Okay, I see it.
Nathan Fillion swamp ass PSA.
He's got a Nerd Machine shirt on. I'm gonna have to listen to that.
Oh, it's so funny. I forgot all about that, Kalani. Oh, I love it. The post show is even gonna kill me.
Yeah. Okay, Kalani posted
There
a
you
link
go.
to it.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
have to watch that.
I took out the link restrictions for the chat room, and you know we have
We haven't had anything bad happen in a while.
so we're okay.
Think
One
they
day we
moved
might have to
on.
switch it back, but
Yeah. Now that we have, what was I gonna say? I don't even remember. Now that we have given you this privilege, chat room, don't abuse it. That was what I was gonna say.
don't ruin it for everybody, chat room.
Yeah.
No, you won't. You guys are awesome. You guys rock the
don't
house.
ruin it, Mr. Hemorrhoid. Come up here. Don't ruin it for the chat room.
Mr. Hemorrhoid is like Bubba.
Now don't go comparing the two of us. Now I don't like. I don't want anything to do, Mr. Hemorrhoid. We're not.
Bubba Conan, I wasn't
we're
talking
not the
about
same.
you.
Nah, we're not the same.
No, I was talking about some other dude named Bubba.
All right.
Garrus is like freaking himself out with shadows right now. Cats are not smart.
They're shadows, dude. They're like there, but they don't exist. You're like, there's my shadow, but it's not really there.
It's like
It's just
there.
something that's not there, but that's there. And it's there.
Did you know that like the shadows were there, but they weren't because they were like there yesterday? Did
I mean,
you
it's like
know?
every time I go around this light, the same shadow comes up. I'm like, why?
Ugh.
Why are you still there? Why do you have to follow me? Leave me alone, shadow.
That shadow can just go and just be like whatever because I'm so bored with my shadow.
So over it. So over it. I've had that shadow for years.
It
It
just
just
never
needs to
goes
go.
away, and
It
it's
needs
just
to-
so frustrating. Like I'm just totally bored. Yeah, you're Tim Gunn. That's what it is.
Who is Tim Gunn?
He's the guy from Project Runway.
Oh, I've never seen an episode.
Oh, you gotta go look up Tim. Okay, write down Tim Gunn too.
Tim Gunn.
Because he is, you are totally being Tim Gunn. I was being, I can't talk like him because I'm a girl. So you, you definitely, he's very prissy and Valley Girl
Okay.
at the same time.
Okay.
So, am I from Encino? No, Jerry, I'm not. But I could totally pretend I was because, yeah.
Oh man. This, Epic Rap Battles of History on YouTube, they have come back with the new season this week, and they did Lewis and Clark versus Bill and Ted.
Oh wow.
And they do Bill and they're like, yeah, we're from San Dimas, and they're sitting there doing the whole, the whole Bill and Ted voices, and it's pretty good. It is pretty good. I'm glad they're back.
Oh, people are torn that with the Valley Girl voice, people either love it or hate it, and so because I've got Jim Beverly said, "Don't do that again." I think
Yeah,
I
I was trying
love
to
to do
remember who
it. I
said
think it's
not
the
to do it.
funniest thing. It's so funny for me to do it because it's like the facial expression, whatever, whatever. so totally don't care if you don't like it or not. Like,
Gag me with a spoon.
whatever. Like, seriously.
I need to go watch Clueless and brush up on my Valley Girl.
As if. Gross.
Grody.
Ugh. Gross. Oh, I want to do that all night. That's so fun.
He was like looking in my direction. I'm like, oh gosh, it's so grody.
You're not supposed to look at me. Like, there's just like no way. That's just so not okay, right? Like I said, no to you looking in my general. Is it general? Like, I don't even care. Okay, all right, I'm done.
This
Marconin
is only
is
going
hungry.
to get worse.
Yes, Marconin is hungry. We're going to go let him have some dinner. And we are going to say goodnight to our lovely, lovely, lovely chat room. We love you. Please don't ever go see your massage therapist with swamp ass.
Yes, that should be part of the whole like getting ready. Is like, if you need to wipe, do so now, and if you don't, do just in case. Like, please take the initiative. Oh, I know you're not joking, Toy. I know you're not joking. The fact that you said it speaks volumes. And
there are things in life that I will never be able to do, and one of them is to touch someone else's naked body. That is not my husband's. So I would never get paid to touch someone's feet or anything like that. There is no way. I am sorry. Not a profession of Jules.
mm-hmm.
Hi, honey.
Did he just come upstairs?
No. He's like in the chat room. He's like, ahem.
Oh, yeah. He says, ahem. Yeah.
I did clarify, hun.
Man, what did I go back to? Fun story time. That's what it is.
Oh my gosh, I hate feet. I hate feet. I really hate feet. Like, I really hate feet. I would say it's close to a phobia. I hate feet. I hate my own feet. I really do. I hate my own feet.
If that was during the show, that would be a pretty good show title.
It would be. I hate my own feet. Oh, we're so punchy after the show, so you get all these little gems that you can't use. This is why. This is like the extra special goof show. You guys can watch the extra goof show. And Nate, there is no way. That is why I'm not in the medical profession either.
Yeah. Output is a good way to put it.
All right, we're really going, so you can go eat. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
We love you guys.
Bye,
Have
guys.
a great week. We'll be here next week.
Yep. See you then.
Tip your server. Try the meal. Slide boo.
Bye, boo.